What's up, everybody? Here at Pop Culture Philosophers, it's time for a PCP movie night. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the winner of the John Hughes PCP Army movie poll, obviously, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And with me, I have a gaggling assortment of misfits, conundrums, and just fucking morons. Anyway, here's Jay Strick in the house. What's up, my man?
Hey, you know what? Peace up, A-Town, down.
What? Anyway, we also have Hammer Time Whole Shoe, straight from 1986. My man, what's up?
Peace up. I don't know what John Strickland said. Peace up, down, round, crown. I don't know, whatever he said. All that.
We also got the man himself, that son of a bitch, Dylan from Dylan's Comics. What's up, my man?
What's up, my brothers? Good to be here. Good to be here as always.
Hell yeah, always, always. And of course, that and cleanup, as Bob would say. We got Brooks the Shroom Master here.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey. And we're here to talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, a John Hughes film. It was the winner of the John Hughes movie poll in the PCP Army. It was first place. This one was kind of close between it and Weird Science. Surprised me. I thought Breakfast Club would win, but I'm glad it was Ferris Bueller. I loved revisiting this movie. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So you out there in the comments, whether you're listening at home or if you're at work or if you're on the pooper, like Herminio, joining us in the pooping. Anyway, I hope you guys join in as well in the fun. We're going to be talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Then we'll be BSing for a little bit and then doing some show and tell. So let's kick it off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course, the John Hughes written and directed film, came out in 1986, starring Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck. It also had a whole lot of other cool people. Jennifer Grey is one of them. And who's the guy that played Rooney? It's that dude that was in Deadwood. What's his name? It's Jeffrey Jones, of course.
Jeffrey Jones, yeah.
Fresh off of his near star-making appearance in Amadeus, but I freaking love this movie. Now, in my life, Ferris Bueller has gone from being a very popular movie to continuing to be a popular movie and one of the most recognizable and quotable and rewatchable high school movies there is. But nowadays, it seems like some people kind of like want to shit on Ferris Bueller's. John knows what I'm talking about. One time on a podcast, like we were about to talk about our favorite like 80s comedy heroes, and I had Ferris Bueller on my list, but before we did that, we did a villain thing, and like Richard from Killing Time just laid into Ferris Bueller. You know what I'm saying? He's narcissistic, he's self-centered, he's spoiled, he gets everything handed to him, whatever. I love, and this is probably not much of a surprise to anybody, especially people that know me. I love Ferris Bueller. I love that character. I aim to be that character. But this movie also really has a lot of great cast, like Principal Rooney, and of course Cameron and other characters like his sister. Was it Jeannie? I love this film. I loved it back then. I've loved it growing up. I loved it in high school. I loved it as an adult. I love it today as a more mature individual, obviously. But no, I had so much fun. It's not my favorite John Hughes film, but it's definitely top 3, if not top 2. It might be number 2. I don't know. I have to think about it. Rock and Robbie Live Sunday night, we'll do top 5 John Hughes movies. Jonathan Strickland, what do you think about this film then and now?
Man, I've seen this movie a million times, and on the rewatch this time, I really enjoyed it. John Hughes does this thing of, and we all know it, just capturing that high school experience. So that was literally school for me. I hated it. That was my teachers. All those, and those scenes they have early on in the movie. That was my high school experience. So I was looking to leave and have a day off like Ferris. So totally related to the movie. Loved it on the rewatch.
Heck yeah. What about you, Hammer Time?
I don't think it holds up. No, I love this movie, man. It's funny. It has a fantastic cast, great writing. It's just so. The more I watch it, the more just over the top it is, though. I'm like, what? Yeah. How'd that happen? But it's such a great cast, John. And I forget how many people are in this film. It's got a phenomenal cast. Like, I don't know. It just feels like John Hughes films always like have the perfect casting. And I don't know if he has part in that or he just works with a good casting director. But such a great movie. It holds up well. It's hilarious. And, yeah, who doesn't like this film? And except for the one person that doesn't like it.
Allegedly, when Hughes was writing the film, he wrote the film in a week. There was like a pending writer's strike that was going to happen. So he came up with the idea one day, sold it pretty much within that week to, I think, Paramount, right? And then they were nervous that he wouldn't get the script done in time, but apparently he's like a very incredibly focused writer, and he wrote the script in a week, and he pretty much filmed off of his first draft. And the first edit of the film was 2 hours and 45 minutes. And they did all the cutting, all the revising that you would do, like writing more drafts of the script. They just did that in post. I'm sure that was fun, right? But yeah, just fantastic. But apparently he had the idea of Matthew Broderick playing the character, even though I hear that, what's his name? Anthony Michael Hall was offered the role initially and turned it down. Speaking of being offered roles and turning it down, Dylan ain't never selling out. What do you think about the movie then and now, buddy?
I've always loved it, man. It's one that I grew up watching with my mom, actually. And, yeah, man, I can't see why anybody wouldn't like it. I mean, I guess if you grew up like Ferris's sister and you're just a hater, then maybe that's why you wouldn't like it and you couldn't get away with skipping class. But yeah, man, I had plenty of days like that in school where I had some asshole teachers. But yeah, man, it's one that just doesn't get old. It only gets better in time. And anything Matthew Broderick, I always end up checking out just because I'm like, man, it's Ferris Bueller, So
hell yeah,
yeah, it's a classic for me. That's why I had to come on and put my 2 cents in.
Had to. Speaking of 2 cents, that's all he has. Brooks, what's up? What do you think about the movie?
It was funny. It has that kind of authentic high school feel to it. Like I can relate to some of the stuff in this movie, even though I went to high school in the late '90s. But you know, the dynamics are basically the same, I think, when it comes to high school. Like no matter what time period you're setting it in. And you know, I remember guys like Ferris who seemed to, you know, who were just like friends with everybody, who like, you know, were just so popular and like so, you know, well loved. It seemed like we never had to work for anything, you know, kind of. But they're just so charming, you kind of overlook it. I'd be more of a Cameron myself, I think. Especially like the way he reacts early on, because you know, like it's his dad's car they're driving around in. It's like really important to him, so he's stressing out about it. That would have been me back in the day, I think.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have.
You strike me as more of a kind of a Ferris Bueller.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. And for a time in my life, I feel like I was Ferris Bueller, and Hammer Time was my Cameron. I felt like
Brooks would have been our Sloan.
Yes. No, there were times where I'm always having to like call you guys, be like, let's go do some. Come on, John, let's go to the bar. Hey, Brooks, come over. Let's go to the club with us, Brooks. You'll love it. He never loved it. Never.
That's funny.
So let's talk about the character of Ferris Bueller. I love the character. Matthew Broderick does a fantastic job. The character is charming. Yes, he is kind of spoiled. He gets what he wants. He kind of skates through. He does terrible things at times, but it kind of goes right through. But I think there's a brighter side of Ferris. I really think that a lot of this movie, because Ferris is not the character who has an arc in this film. He is the exact same Ferris Bueller at the beginning and the end of this film. The changed person is Cameron. Yeah. We'll talk more about Cameron next, but Ferris's friendship with Cameron and how much he cares for his friend, you can look at it and it's easy to just be like, oh, he's just using him for a ride, and then he wants his dad's car. No, he's trying to give this dude the best day of his life because he knows exactly what kind of dude this guy is.
Like he could have gotten a ride from anybody.
Exactly, especially with how popular he is, right? And it's really intriguing that this is obviously a high school movie, but very little of it takes place in high school because the whole point of it is skipping school. And it's no surprise to people that really know me. The first movie script I ever wrote was Skip Day. It's about a group of kids, and the main character is Twiz Lomax, who is slightly based on me, Zach Morris, and Ferris Bueller, all kind of thrown into one person. And it's Skip Day. It's about a sequence of events of filling a day. I love this film, and I've said this before. I love day in the life type stories. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is one of the best ones. And it's such a love letter to Chicago as well, which is a great thing too. But I love Matthew Broderick as Ferris. I think he's a charming, endearing character. And I also think that the way his relationship with Cameron is incredibly compelling to me. What do you think about Broderick in the role and just the character of Ferris Bueller, Jay Strick?
Yeah, I think personally he was better in Godzilla 2000, but
oh my god.
No, I mean, Robert kills it, man. Like, he's a straight baller in the movie. Like, that's what Ferris is, you know? Like, he's just that guy, like Brooks was talking about. And he nails his role. And I wanted to be Ferris so bad. Like, I remember I tried to have, like, a skip day kind of like that, and it was just not as cool. I just, like, went to the movies with some friends, and then we went home after. So it's just, like, everything he does in the movie, man, he just kills it.
My skip day was spent editing our senior video that I was in charge of directing. I'm serious. That's what happened.
Did you play Green Day, Time of the Life?
I wish my skip day.
No.
I don't think that song was out back then, was it? That came later.
It was, because that's from Nimrod, right? Nimrod came out in 98, so it would have been my senior year, but
I mean, it would have.
But we didn't use that. I used a lot of, like, they were expecting like a 3-4 minute, 5-minute video. I gave them like a 30-minute, like, epic ass fucking. I scoured everywhere I could to get any footage from any of our class from the last 4 years, and I wish I had a copy of it. I think I did a damn good job in my directorial debut. Before we move on, you can't talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off without having Comics with Bueller himself jump into the chat. What's up, Bueller? Good to see you, man. I saw Bueller's new set for the Coffee and Comics video. Holy wow, you guys are in for some treat. He makes CNN look like PCP. He makes CNN looks like Scrubs on his new set, so be sure to check out his show on Monday morning. Hammer Time Holshoe. What do you think about the character of Ferris Bueller, Matthew Broderick's performance of said character, and what was
he
it
does
like?
Such a great job, you know what I'm saying? Breaking the third wall, and he just, I don't know, he's Ferris Bueller. Even though he's done these other acting jobs, he's Ferris Bueller, man. He's Ferris Bueller, and I know he was in a couple things before that, but War Games was probably his biggest thing, right? Prior to that,
I think so. Was Biloxi Blues out before that?
It was. I think so.
Was it? I don't think so, but
I thought that was.
I just wondered if War Games. I mean, War Games was a pretty big, was a pretty cool film. I don't know how big it was back then, but
I think it was pretty big back then.
Yeah.
But I was like 5,
man.
so I don't really remember.
And he's Ferris Bueller. He'll always be Ferris Bueller, whether he wants to be or not. And it's a great. Was there? Am I misremembering? Was there a show later on? Not with him.
Yes.
Wasn't there a Ferris Bueller show?
1990.
Yes.
1990, 1991, one season. Yes.
Okay.
Jennifer
Like, we got to make a
Aniston
show,
was the
guys. To
sister.
cash in
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston played the sister.
6 years later or whatever. Let's do a show.
I know, right? And they toyed around with doing like the idea of doing a sequel of him in college or something, but it just never kind of panned out. And I don't think John Hughes was a big fan of doing sequels and revisiting it. Though we did kind of get a sequel to it. What was that? A Super Bowl commercial, wasn't it? Where it was Matthew, like he came back and he was an adult and he had a day off from work. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was
just recently too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was just a couple years ago, I think. So
Yeah.
hell yeah. John, the other question I was going to ask you before you interrupted me was because John was ready. He was just like, Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller. No, I was going to ask, what was it like for you in your life to deal with your own Ferris Bueller?
To deal with them? Wasn't it you?
I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, Dylan, what do you think about Matthew Broderick's performance and the character itself?
Yeah, I've always liked it, He's funny and witty. He definitely is spoiled as hell, but I mean he's popular. I mean, that's just what comes with it,
And what's crazy is he's popular, but he's not a jock. He's not like super, super good looking. He's just charismatic, right?
Yeah.
I think he's one righteous dude.
He's trying like I think Hammer Time said it, like he's friends with everyone. That's not like I always kind of was friends with a lot of people myself, but I'm better looking than Ferris Bueller though. But
I would think so. I honestly do. And Ferris Bueller never wore a sweet ensemble like that, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. I think it's funny as hell. I've always liked this character though. And like Hammer Time said, man, like even like I love the Cable Guy and Inspector Gadget. Even though that one's cheesy as hell, but when I was a kid, that was coming out, and they're you can't look at him other than anyone else than Ferris Bueller. When you see him in anything else, you're like, that's Ferris Bueller, So it's one of those day in the life movies that just never gets old because anybody can be like, oh man, like I wanted to skip school or something. Maybe they didn't, but there's still things they can relate to, If you're not Ferris, you're what's the friend's name? Cameron, yeah. You're one of them, or maybe you're even the damn principal.
I wish I would have one day like skipped school to go to like a Stars game or something during a gay game. That would have been cool, right?
Yeah,
we would skip school
like that.
Yeah, we would skip school and just go to Taco Bell.
Right.
Yeah, Taco Bell in the movies. That's literally what I would
go get chili cheese burritos, man.
Let's go to Sonic and get a slushie.
Oh shit.
Don't lie, you'd skip school, go smoke weed, then go to Taco Bell, then the movies.
I didn't smoke a lot of weed in high school, to be honest. It's crazy, but I didn't. It's weird. A lot of that stuff came afterwards. I was a good church boy in high school.
You were Jesus,
really?
boy, weren't you?
I was a Jesus freak.
I was worse in high school than I am now.
Nice.
It's the opposite for me.
So I need somebody out there who likes to do Photoshop or whatnot to get an image of Ferris Bueller, put a lipstick tattoo on his neck, and I want to see it. I want to see what Dylan would look like as Ferris Bueller. Brooks, what do you think about Matthew Broderick's performance and the character in general?
I like Ferris Bueller. I mean, he is kind of, he seems kind of like a very arrogant and selfish person. Like, and like somebody who's like goes through life just so effortlessly, which makes you kind of resent him. But at the same time, like he's engendered all this goodwill from these people for a reason. I mean, there's a reason these people like him other than just, he's Ferris Bueller. I mean, and so surely, there's more to him. He's kind of like, and he's also kind of a trickster, He's like a guy who who pulls off things like that normal men couldn't. He's almost like a cartoon character,
Like with technology.
Like a bunny in a way. Yeah. Like even like at the end, it looks like he's about to fail. Like, the principal's got him right where he wants him. And then like his sister walks up and you're like, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah.
But he just slithered his way back into that bed somehow.
Well, his sister bails him out is what happens. Yeah. And so she has an arc in the film actually. And the idea that and it's Charlie Sheen that lets her realize that
I always love that too. Charlie Sheen's little. I wish we got more of him in it.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, that's the sequel and spinoff I want. Is Jeannie and Charlie Sheen? Like, what the hell happened there?
Maybe like his character in this movie, like after he breaks up with her, that's when he goes into Major League.
I was going to say, I think Godzilla, the 1998 film, would have been better if they would have had Broderick just play Ferris Bueller.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He convinces Godzilla to like just go away or something.
Yeah, right. And the other thing about Ferris Bueller is a precursor to Zach Morris. Like, I don't think Zach Morris exists or Saved by the Bell without Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 100%.
Oh yeah.
The breaking the fourth wall, the timeouts, all that kind of stuff, and.
Did I say the third wall? I think I said the third wall.
You did, but I just want to point out nobody fucking mentioned that. Nobody called you out on it, okay?
Yeah, the fourth wall, yeah.
He broke the third wall, too. He did. Cameron broke the third wall when he kicked the car, right? Let's talk about Alan Ruck as Cameron. Cameron is the character that has the arc here. And he's a guy who is not doing so well. He mentally he struggles. He has a best friend who's like the most popular kid in school. Everybody loves him, and he even mentions it. He's like, no matter what life throws at him, he envies Ferris, and he's like, no matter what life throws at him, he can handle it, and he feels like he can't handle anything, and it comes from this really troubled household that he lives in. And if there's a point in this film, aside from just being a fun film, which it is, the point is in Cameron's arc, 100%. So what do you think about the performance and Alan Ruck, by the way, awesome in Spin City, which was one of my favorite late 90s sitcoms.
He's in Twister too.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Michael J. Fox in that one too.
And I was going to say Michael J. Fox, and we also mentioned Cable Guy, Jim Carrey. Both of them were considered for the role of Ferris Bueller, which is way different movies.
I love.
God, if it was Jim Carrey, it would have been. This movie would suck, I think. But anyway,
yeah.
Richard, we appreciate the super chat, really do. And we'll address that question momentarily, and we'll get a Joker video later on. What was I going to say? Oh, anyway, what do you think about Cameron, J. Strick?
Yeah, Cameron, man. So on this rewatch, I was watching more of that arc, paying more attention to it, and that scene when he breaks down when they're in front of the car, man. It's just so. It kind of gave me chills because it was the first time in the movie. It kind of gets really. There was the moment where he's walking with Sloane and he's kind of saying what you're talking about, how he feels about Ferris, but this is I don't know, this moment, chilling moment of it all comes together because he talks about his piece of shit dad and how everyone knows it, Ferris is I know his dad's horrible to him and stuff, and that scene, man, just wrecked me. And I think it's relatable for a lot of people who just come from probably kind of homes like that. And I think his performance is just perfect. I think anyone else in this role, I don't think is as good. I think he just nailed it,
Oh, he should have been nominated for an Academy Award, 100%. What a great performance.
Yeah.
That moment where he's looking at is it a Monet painting, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I read some stuff about what John Hughes said that scene represents, and he said what he's doing is he's noticing the closer he looks at this girl, he sees a mom and a girl in a loving parent-child relationship. And as he looks closer into it, he can't see anything. And then he's like, to him, Cameron is afraid that when people look closer at him, they'll see nothing, right? And it's so chilling, actually. It's a funny moment. You know, you can play it one of two ways. That can be funny, and you're like, how ridiculous. He's just like staring down this little girl in this painting, right? But on the other hand, it's like, whoa, they go deep with the character of Cameron. Speaking of going deep, I hear he goes very deep. Hammer time. What do you think about Cameron in the film?
Balls deep.
He's great. I mean, he's right, though. He has the best arc. You feel for him. Obviously, with the issue with his father, I mean, he talks about that in the beginning of the film. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they build up a lot with the car accident. People have, I mean, there are people with shitty parents or shitty relationships with those parents. And you could tell that, Bueller was this lighthearted character or whatever, but you also see it when he's with his parents. His parents actually love him. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that they adore him. I think that's, and it kind of reflected in his personality. He's got this good home life. Yeah, his sister's jealous of him, whatever. Speaking of which, I almost sidetracked. My first car was a Fiero. So whenever I watch this movie, I get all excited because he's like, yeah, you know, I'm the spoiled one or whatever. She got a car. I got a computer. But look all the stuff he does with a computer. But
yeah, in 1986, he's got like this high-ass, like high-tech computer synthesizer.
He can hack into school records.
Yeah.
But Cameron steals the show and is the best part. I mean, Alan Ruck is the best part of the entire movie, by bar none. I mean, there's some overall the cast was really great. Even small parts like Ben Stein, you know, Bueller, or Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
But really, it's Alan Ruck who's got the best parts in the movie, and he's got so much. He brings so much to the character. Great, he's phenomenal. You
know, he's 29 when he's playing this role, by the way.
Oh wow!
I thought he was in his early 20s. You know, they do that casting, but I did not think he was that old.
Yeah, he was 29. I don't know how old. I don't know how old Michael or Matthew Broderick was, but Mia Sarah, who played Sloane.
Yeah, I heard she was 87 when they filmed it.
Well, she was 18, and Hughes actually wanted to cast somebody in their early 20s. But she was actually 18. Anyway, speaking of only 18, Dylan still claims he's only 18. What do you think about Cameron in this picture, buddy?
Yeah, I think he's definitely one of the best, most definitely. Like acting wise, if anything, too. You know, he really brings that dramatic. Like every time in the beginning when he goes to call him. Or when Ferris goes to call him, and he's just like laying in bed, and he's like, "I'm dying."
Yeah.
I always crack up to that. But I love how Ferris, you know, all he wants to do is just take his buddy out, like you said, that he just wants to give him a good day. You know what I mean? Like, because he knows that his life ain't so great. Like even when Ferris is asking his girlfriend, like, "Marry me today, marry me," and you know, he's like, "I'll give you a reason why." It's like, easy. He's like, "Look at my parents. They hate each other," you know? So that's reminiscent to what you guys are saying about how his life ain't good, where he's just, you know, in a way, he's kind of giving up. Like, he's trying to dig himself out of there, but he's kind of giving up. And he's only in high school, you know? He already thinks his life is, like, over.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I never really looked at him all like that growing up, you know, but as you get older and you watch it, you know, you see that Alan Ruck really brought a lot to that character, a lot more than you notice as, like, because I've watched this movie since I was probably like 3 years old, because it's one of my mom's favorites. So it's always one that I watched with her growing up. So I always enjoyed this one. But yeah, I think as I get older, I appreciate his role a lot more, even than Ferris's, you know?
Absolutely. You know, and as I grow older, the role I appreciate in my life more than any, because I already respect all of you dudes here, but Brooks, but he grows on me year to year. So Brooks, what do you think about the role of Cameron?
I think Cameron's actually funnier than Ferris for the most part during this movie. Cameron's more relatable, I think. For me personally,
I see that.
Like his nervousness and stuff. Like, but eventually, you know, as the movie goes on, he just kind of like settles into it and becomes, loosens up a little bit. I think my favorite thing is his idea of what an adult's voice sounds like. He says he talks like this. This is how an adult talks. How dare you, sir?
Well, apparently Alan Ruck and Matthew Broderick had worked on the Broadway production of Biloxi Blues. Biloxi Blues. Biloxi Brews is a completely different thing.
It's a beer company.
Yeah, I bet there is. There probably is.
Probably a porno.
So that was apparently him doing an impersonation of their director during that, which I love that bit. Like,
nice.
Me, sir, pardon my French, sir, but you're an asshole. I love it. And my favorite thing is Rooney's. To me, it's one of the funniest moments in the film because when Rooney thinks, "Oh shit," when what's her name pops in, the lady from
Secretary.
Yeah, she pops in and she's like, she's like, Ferris Bueller's online too, and he's just like. Because he's sitting there just talking shit to him. Oh, my God. It just cracks me up so much. But Jennifer Grey's in this movie as well. Let's talk about her. Was this after or before Dirty Dancing?
Before. It was right before.
Right before Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. I think the next year they did it.
Okay. Jennifer Grey is excellent in this movie. Kind of like the jealous sister, but because it's also touching on the idea that sometimes boys get away with more than girls can. I got away with more than my sisters did. You know what I'm saying? Especially as far as dating was concerned. If any of my sisters ever brought home Charlie Sheen, it would have been over. You know what I'm saying?
If you brought home Charlie Sheen, no, you wouldn't have problems.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had a problem. They'd be like, "Oh, Robbie's just hanging out, Bible study." But meanwhile, we're smoking this little pinner joint. Let's record.
Where's Emilio at? Where's Emilio? Bring him over too.
Emilio was originally considered for the role of Cameron. But he turned it down. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but turned it down. So what do you think about the sister and Jeannie Bueller? What do you think, Jay Strick?
Yeah, I guess they don't really reveal her name till the very end, right? The first name, at least?
I don't know. I had to look on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, she tells
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, she tells Charlie Sheen's character.
Her name is Jean, but her friends call her something else. And he calls her Jean.
Yeah. He's in bed and he's like, Jeannie, I can't see you.
Oh, he does say her name, yeah. Okay, so yeah, she does a great job in the movie. I think she plays the role very well. I think she has her own character arc in it. You know what I'm saying? She gets you perceive her as kind of nagging bratty sister the whole movie, and then that end really the Charlie Sheen scene where he calls her out. I loved it. He's just like, nah, this is about you. You're really not dealing with stuff that you got internally. The Ferris stuff, you're just kind of projecting. And I was like, holy crap.
He's like,
he just shrinked her.
He's like, are you mad that your brother does this stuff, or are you mad that he gets away with it? Right? And and it changes her. And even then, it still takes a while for her to get there because she's racing to get back home, so that Ferris gets caught. It's so important to her and to Rooney that he gets caught. And then she's like, you know what? No sweat off my balls. It's all good. No skin off my sack, as they say, the youth of today.
Yeah, a lot of ladies say that.
Speaking of a lot of ladies say that, Hammer Time, what do you think about Jeannie in the film?
I think her character arc is great. Like I said, big fan because of the Fiero. She's got the earlier model, too, that has the speakers in the headrest. Watch it. There's speakers in the headrest. That would never fly with safety standards today. If you got in a wreck, those speakers, you know what I'm saying? You would – anyway.
That's where they would put anything to make something luxury or upscale, like wipers on a headlight,
Oh no!
Remember they used to do that?
Yes, I think that era, that early Fiero, they didn't know where to put the back speakers, in the headrest, and then they're like, "No, that's a bad idea, guys. We made a mistake."
Used to have the pop-up headlights.
Yeah, Fiero had a pop-up headlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had my first one. Of course, one broke. So that was the constant. If you saw a Fiero, usually had only one headlight. But I do like the Charlie Sheen scene is like you said, stands out because he kind of explains it, and his hair is amazing in that. And he's like, "Hey, you got any drugs?" And then she's like, "What are you in here for?" He's like, "Drugs." That's such a great scene. He's barely in the movie, but he's got one of the best scenes in the movie. I think her character is great, and I love when she kicks Rooney in the face.
Oh yes,
it's so funny. It's so well done.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand where she's coming from, but she got the car. She got the damn car.
She
So I
did.
think she won out. I like computers. I like technology. You guys know this, but I'd rather have the car.
Hell,
Car was pivotal in high school. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and,
especially in high school.
Oh,
Having
yeah,
a car is
right?
a big deal.
and, you know, if Ferris is the cool kid that doesn't even have a car, you weren't cool at all until you had a car. Like I got 25% more cool in high school when I got a Ford Festiva.
So you went from 2% to like 27%?
Oh, fuck you. I was cool in high school.
that just shows how
I was a T-dog and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, represent the T-dogs. What? Everybody wants to be a fucking T-dog.
The hell?
Don't worry about it.
This is a weird stretch, dude.
I know. Ugh, weird stretches. Another one of my favorite things in that Charlie Sheen scene is I'll say that fucking 5 times fast.
Charlie Sheen.
No, Charlie Sheen scene. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
When he's like, I got someone you should talk to about that. And she goes, if you say Ferris Bueller, he's like, oh, you know him? Even this drugged out like 20-something-year-old knows who fucking Ferris Bueller is. And I love how like even without him like attempting this, like people come up with these crazy ass stories about what's happened to him, and they all say Ferris is everywhere, all over the town. Obviously, that band took their name from it right there, and I love it. They even got him to put it up on Wrigley Field, right? Speaking of name and lights and Wrigley Field, Dylan, what do you think about Jennifer Grey in this film?
I'd say that Charlie Sheen scene is definitely the best. That always sticks out to me. I always wish that Charlie was in it a little bit more. I've always been a fan of his. As much as I like Bueller, I think I'm more the Charlie Sheen in high school, to be honest. Not like where I'm in the police station for drugs, but I mean, I still would have been skipping school to go do drugs. So, but just weed. But yeah, I don't know, man. I love that scene. It's so damn funny.
Oh, it really is. Really is. And she has a great arc, you know, where she learns to just let go a little bit and stop being such a tight ass about it. Like let her brother live and let live, basically, right? Or as James Bond would say, live and let die, motherfucker. Yeah. Anyway.
It shows how cool Bueller is, though, without the dang car. You know?
Yeah.
He's that
without the car.
You don't even got a whip.
She's got all those scenes in the school where like people come up to her, like the guy with a can. It's like my friend Ferris needs a kidney or something.
Yeah, great stuff. Brooks, what do you think about Jennifer Grey in this film?
I liked her arc, and I think she had the hardest, time in this movie. Her character, because like she's like from the beginning, she knows he's faking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically, he's like, yeah, I know you know, but she can't say anything about it. Like she has to catch him, but like she's constantly being thrown in her face. Like even when she calls 911 after she thinks Jeffrey Rush tried to attack her, she gives him her name, and he's like she I guess whoever I mentioned is, oh, I'm sorry about your brother.
Yes.
So it's like she just can't escape his influence throughout this entire movie. And it eventually drives her to just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to catch him in the act. And by the end, like she just gives up on it by the end, because, once she gets what she wants, which is, just somebody to listen to her, then, it wasn't so important to her anymore to, bust him.
Oh, and also now Ferris owes her a favor.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's another way to look at it too. I think that's great. So we haven't talked about, is it Mia Sara, right? Mia Sara. Sloane, the girlfriend in the movie. She's got a small role, but it's memorable. I've always remembered her. When I was a kid, I thought she was very adorable, and I kind of had a little bit of a crush on her. Of course, as I've grown up, I've had more of a crush on Ferris Bueller, but I think she's got a very cool role. She does a great job with it. And I love that moment. She's like, he's going to marry me. And I'm like, probably not. You guys are only like 17. But the scene where Ferris picks her up pretending to be her dad, and then they kiss in front of the prince was so weird.
He's like, I guess that's how their family rolls.
Yeah. What do you think about her character, Jason?
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I had a crush on her growing up, and I probably have more of a crush now on Mooney as I've gotten older. But
Rooney.
yeah. No, she wait a minute, get weird. No, I think she's honestly, I think she's a little underrated. I think she's kind of badass in the film. Like she hangs with Ferris. Like anytime he wants to do something, she's like right there with him doing the bit. And I like who doesn't like want their girl doing that with them? Like that's awesome.
That's
I
right or
appreciate
die.
that.
That's
It
right or
is.
die.
It really is right or die. And she's even like because you mentioned the scene where she's like, I want he's gonna marry me or whatever. But she says early on in the movie that she doesn't want to be married, so she's like playing it cool. And then like when she left, she like lets her guard down in the sense of like I really do have feelings for this guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
It's a tender relationship. Speaking of Tinder, Hammer time. What do you think about Sloane in the film?
I think she's great. You're right. She doesn't have the biggest part, but one of my favorite scenes is when they're in the cab and they see his dad, so they jump down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what is he doing? They're like, oh, he's pressed up against the glass. He's making, what did you say? Like some sort of
Obscene
inappropriate
gestures.
gestures.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
inappropriate
Like,
gestures.
what? And she's like laughing, whatever. But does he not recognize her? Does he not know her? I mean, hasn't she been over to the house?
Probably not.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm a little confused.
She's also wearing shades. She's
Oh,
wearing
yeah,
the Team Dog
okay.
shades, man. So.
All right. If Clark Kent, I guess, can wear glasses and psych everybody out, shades can psych out Bueller's dad.
Bueller's dad's not the brightest tool in the tool shed.
No, he even sees them and like does the double take like
What?
3 different times.
Yeah, right. He's like, was that Ferris just running next to my car? Of course not. Ferris is
Everybody
a
looks
good
like
boy.
Ferris.
I love you, pal. What about you, Dylan? What do you think about Sloane in the film?
Yeah, I think Ferris picked a good girl, and man, you never know. Back in the '80s, that could have ended up being his wife, and then
Yeah.
you never know, man. Back in those days, it was a little different than it is now. Now everybody, none of that stuff means nothing today, but he could have, he might have found that one girl that could actually keep up with him, because he's not too many girls probably could keep up with him since he's such a crazy guy, always trying to do all that, singing in I was gonna say Central City, but that's Chicago. So I don't know what, downtown Chicago. So
hot.
she does have a smaller arc. I didn't even think about that until watching it this time. I was like, man, she really isn't in it. But I think my favorite scene would be the cab scene.
Hell yeah. What about you, Brooks?
I like the character, and I think like she's such a nice person. She's so nice to like, but she's equally nice to Ferris and Cameron.
Yeah.
Like she's very, they seem to hold equal value with her, which is why I can see like the theory that maybe Ferris Bueller is just like a figment, just because from her actions alone. Which I don't think that's the case, but I can see why people would think that, because she doesn't show preference for either of them really. Like if she sees Cameron's depressed, she's like, well, hey, he's depressed, we need to help him, and she sees Ferris doing something, she goes along with that.
So you mentioned the theory that Richard did, internet theory, everything happened in Cam's head, basically. Brooks, you've heard this theory. Why don't you explain it to everybody real quick?
Well, supposedly it's like a Fight Club situation that
I haven't heard this.
Cameron is real and Ferris is like his Brad Pitt basically, and like really, all of Cameron's actually playing both the parts, but it's just like different aspects of how he's feeling, I guess, during the movie.
That's interesting because there was a few scenes where Ferris wasn't in the scene, and it was like Cameron and Sloane walking, and they were like holding hands. And I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, I wouldn't just hold my best friend's hand, but like it was like an intimate moment. Like he was like confessing,
they
like
a lot closer than like a normal friend of boyfriend and best friend relationship would be.
Interesting.
Yeah, like if they didn't make it and get married, she's probably with Cameron for real.
Maybe.
You never know, man. Things got
So
weird.
that's like the big internet theory, that one.
Yeah.
My theory is that Cameron and Bueller ended up together.
Yeah.
They're like a gay power couple in the future.
Yeah, man. Why not? Good for them.
Sure. It's kind of crazy to think that movie.
Ferris, you're my hero.
You help me stand up to my daddy.
Did y'all finish the discussion about that?
No.
No, we just talked about our favorite Robins.
Yeah, mine's Dick Grayson.
It's a weird stretch. Let's talk about Jeffrey Jones as Principal Rooney. What an amazing character. What an amazing character actor. He's in so many films. He's also
As a
in
bad
Mom
guy, generally, by the way.
Well, and he's also in Mom and Dad Save the World, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great film there too. Yeah, he
He's
is.
also Who's Your Caddy?
Yeah, he's in Deadwood. He's the reporter, the journalist in Deadwood. But I love him in this film. I think you get a lot of the comedic factor from him. Like everything he does, from the moment where he's like at that pizzeria and he thinks he finds Ferris, he's like, "Your ass is mine," and it's that chick, and she turns around, and it's like his facial expressions sell it. Like John was saying, when he gets kicked in the face 3 times in a row by Jennifer Grey, the scene on the bus at the end during the credits when he's like sitting next to that weird little girl and she gives him the gummy bear, and she's like,
it's been inside my pocket. It's warm.
He's so amazing in this film. What do you think about him, Jay Strick?
Yeah, man, he's funny. He's such a like freaking nerd though. Like he's just so like he's just classic old guy, like doing stupid crap. He's like, Bueller, he's not gonna get away with it. I'm gonna catch him in the act, and it's just funny though. Like it really works in the film. I really enjoyed it.
What about you, Hammer Time?
Yeah, man, he's great as a bad guy generally. I mean, I remember being in Howard the Duck. He was in Stay Tuned, I think, as the bad guy.
Yeah.
I just remember being the bad guy and everything. I think he was a great bad guy.
Isn't he in Beetlejuice too?
Yeah,
he's the dad, right?
Yeah.
He's in How High too. I think
he's in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. But he does a great job with it. You're right. He's got good facial expressions. He's got good. I don't know, just the way he responds to things. He's great in it. I couldn't imagine a better. Well, I was going to say that, but John Hughes, whoever, again, the casting director, they know how to get the right principal for the job.
Yeah.
That they do, man. That they do.
Because some of the people they've had is just phenomenal. And
yeah, because the dude in Breakfast Club was great too, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And they must know each other. They're all teachers in the same city, or principals.
Okay, so we know that John Hughes sets all this stuff in Shermer, Illinois, a fictional city that Jay and Silent Bob go to try to find in between Chasing Amy and Dogma.
Oh my gosh, that is that. Yeah.
And so it's Shermer High School or something that Ferris goes to, right?
Yeah.
The name is the same school from Breakfast Club. And I also think 16 Candles. But the Letterman jacket that Emilio Estevez's character wears in Breakfast Club is different than the one that's hanging up in a scene, but
maybe he was a transfer student.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But technically it is the same city, the same school. They should know each other. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that was the previous principal or something. He gets fired after locking up a bunch of teenagers in a library for a fucking weekend or something. I don't know. What about you, Dylan? What do you think about Rooney in the film? Funny or no?
Yeah, he's hilarious. Forgot there was something I was gonna say about him, but I can't remember it now. Oh man, I was just seeing like I got it playing in the background, and then Sloan is like, you're a beautiful man, but
why did you say like
she's underrated because like she just plays the like part so like that scene is hilarious too.
She rolls her eyes at him.
Yeah,
and he looks. Yeah, that's really funny. And if she goes, I guess that's my dad. Like, I guess that's my dad.
I want her out there alone. What? Don't say that.
You better be there with her.
Damn it! No, don't say that. Knocks the phone out of his hand.
It's a great moment. So Dylan, you actually have the movie playing right now?
Yeah, it's in the background right now.
Hell yeah, man.
I watched it like 3 times. This is 2 times today. Now it's 3rd time playing it.
Nice.
Bro, that's a weird stretch.
That's a weird stretch.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I kind of like was kind of dope because I've seen it so many times. I dozed off the first time, so then I wanted to rewatch it again because I knew there was gonna be, like, I haven't seen it in probably a little while, so I was like, I don't want there to be stuff that we talk about that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I kind of wanted it to be fresh in my head. So
I think you just wanted to outperform Mike. You know, like when we did New Jack City, I really believe that he didn't watch it and he was just trying to remember from 10 years ago the last time he watched it.
Yeah. See, that's what I didn't want to happen.
That's funny.
But Rooney's great in the movie. He's so freaking funny, man. And he himself is jealous of Ferris.
That's what
he's
I
say. Because here's something crazy. The moment that he talks to his mom, and he's like, he's got 9 absences, and you see the computer screen. If you pay attention, the computer screen also has all of Ferris's classes and his grades. He's an AB student. He's not failing whatsoever.
Right.
He just wants to get him because he feels like, well, I guess on the surface,
too much.
He gets away with too much, but honestly, it's jealousy. He wants to be Ferris Bueller, man.
That's what I forgot. I couldn't remember it. As soon as you were saying it, I just thought of it. I was gonna be like, he's jealous of him.
Yeah.
He was probably that goofball in class, and he's like, man, he's like, I want to be like Ferris Bueller. Kid gets away with everything.
He's a righteous dude. I love it when she's describing it. She's like, all the jocks, all the sluts, all the dickheads. I'm like, what? She was in what's that show?
She was funny
the
too.
Hogan Family. You remember that show with Jason Bateman? She was in that show. She's like the nanny or the maid or whatever.
That's
if
random.
I remember. That's a weird stretch for my mind to do.
It
Speaking
is
of
so
weird
weird.
stretches, Brooks, what do you think about Principal Rooney?
I like it. It's funny. He's a Wile E. Coyote type villain.
Yes, he
He's
is.
there to take abuse. He takes abuse, and at the end, he is like he's got his hands on what he wants. Only to have it slip through his fingers. I'm like,
Yeah, you're right on that.
He totally
Yeah.
is. That
There to
this
take
movie is like a
damage.
live action Roadrunner cartoon.
Yeah. Like all his parts are just him taking damage or humiliation or just like he's just so miserable by the end of this movie. Like sitting on that bus, he got that dead inside look.
Well, he did break the law.
Hey, he broke into the what?
Yeah.
It,
Yeah, he did. He broke into the house. So.
Hey, it's a dog door for a big dog. I think I'm gonna sneak in
How
here.
did you feel about that dog?
Yeah, right.
he gets like 20 tickets in his car towed.
Oh man, I love that there's some parking guy, by the way, patrolling a fucking residential neighborhood, like
Yeah.
giving tickets to people. That didn't happen. Maybe it does in Shermer, Illinois. They take that shit seriously.
Yeah, he was living in a pretty nice neighborhood. A lot of Chicago
It's
isn't
like Barney
nice.
Fife
So
parking.
maybe
Well, he wasn't living in Chicago. You know,
That's
that's
true,
the
that's
thing.
true,
Chicago's
that's true.
built around the suburbs. You know, I've been to Chicago before. It's a beautiful city, but I spent most of my time in Rosemont, and it looked kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Actually, it kind of looked very flat, very windy, and we mostly stayed at a hotel. But I did walk around for a bit. Everybody made fun of me for being from Alabama. And they didn't have sweet fucking tea.
At least it's not Ohio, right?
Let's talk about the car. I know John wants to talk about the car. Car scene's great. It's one of the best. It's the character in the movie.
Small Wonder. She was on a Small Wonder. That's where I remember her from.
What?
The show, A
Mia-
Small Wonder.
Mia
The robot
Sarah?
kid. No. The secretary lady.
Oh, okay. Was she in Hogan Family? Did you look that up?
No, I don't think so.
I think she is. She's in
Okay,
something
I
that I
can't-
remember her from.
Yeah, she was in a lot of shows. Don't get me wrong. Can't find that particular show. I just remember her being from A Small Wonder.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay.
So,
Okay.
the Ferrari or the Fiero?
The Ferrari. Talk about
Ferrari.
that, John.
Not a real Ferrari, by the way, but a beautiful reproduction and a
Well,
cool car.
they did get to use a real one for some of the scenes, but most of the scenes were
I think the
reproductions.
scenes are probably the close-up or when it's stationary, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
When they're
getting in the
driving,
car.
it's a reproduction.
Yeah, this is
Because
where.
There's only
What
like
did you say?
100 of them made or something.
Yeah, it's a very rare car.
Right.
And obviously, they're not going to drive one out a window, but it's still a cool car. I mean, even the reproduction of that car would be a cool car to have. I mean, it's a good-looking car. It's convertible, you know.
Where do they get like going in reverse?
I don't think I ever see Matthew Broderick shift during the whole movie.
You see him one time when he's like starting like.
That's your biggest thing with the movie, the shifting?
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is not a real movie. This is all in Cameron's head. Why are you shifting?
What were you saying, Dylan? About you were saying something.
Damn.
You already forgot?
Yeah. Dead brain cells. I'll remember in 1 second.
Fable's got my back. He said she was in Hogan's Family, Robbie. Okay, good. Nobody ever remembers that damn.
Why can't I find?
I don't know, man. What's wrong with your internet? Don't you have Google Fiber?
Oh, you know what it was? I said, how the hell did Ferris, being such a smartass, think that going in reverse was going to get the miles to go back?
Because it makes sense, doesn't it? It just makes logical sense. It's not how it works.
It seems like it would be smarter to just pop the thing off and put the miles
Well,
down.
that's plan B. That
should be plan A.
That was plan B.
He's like, let's crack it. He's not even like, let's pop it. He's like, let's crack it. He's like, no.
We'll get it replaced, right?
No.
You know what? John Hughes should have made a movie of the parking attendants. Like that could have been like a spin-off movie of just what
I would have
parking attendants are doing all day in the car. It's like they're on this big epic adventure, like in between the movie.
Yeah.
The time
What did they
the
do?
car at the parking garage and they come back.
So they wind up going like
ass in this car.
He says that at first it's supposed to be like 100 and something miles on it. Then there's 300 and something. So they went like 200.
It was more than that, right? I thought it was like 3,000.
No, it was like 300. I thought.
Okay.
But they went like 200 or like they went like 200 and something miles in that day.
They were flying in it too, like flying over that hill, man.
That's a great moment where they're just like.
His fucking hair is flowing in the wind.
And at the very end, when they give the car back, and he's like, yeah, and you already knew that something was up, how creepy this guy was. Oh, you got nothing to worry about. But then you're like, man, we got to do this again, dog. Anybody ever valet park? Me, I don't, because I don't have cars worthy of valet parking. Let me take my fucking shitty ass Cavalier. It's like falling apart.
Somebody with my wheels, man.
Right. I was about to say, I'd be like, yo, I ain't trusting you. I didn't see Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bro, if I was rich enough to valet park, I'd be flaunting that shit. I'd be like, yeah, just park it. Here you go. Tipping.
Here's old George Washington.
Yeah, right. They're giving him like dollar bills and shit, right? Oh, that's an expensive day, by the way. You just can't, as a high school kid, take the day off and do all the shit that they did. Well,
it's like they're obviously from like very well-to-do families.
I was thinking about that. I honestly think probably Ferris has some strings. He probably got the tickets for free. He probably got the food for free. All that.
And like Cameron's dad's like a stockbroker or something, right?
He had a little wad of money though.
They were out at this, like looking down at the stock exchange or whatever, and Cameron's like, he's down there somewhere. So I guess that's why I assumed his father was like a big shot stockbroker.
Yeah, he's a big shot.
So I looked it up, and the replica had a Ford V8 with a C4 automatic because Matthew Broderick could not drive a standard, is what it said.
Yeah. John's like, I knew he didn't fucking shift in that movie.
Is it real though? Is this like that last time when you told us that they were doing that movie?
Oh yeah, where they were doing.
Okay, this part was real. I researched this just now from a legit site. I mean, it was a replica, and it made more sense if he couldn't drive a standard. He might be able to now. I mean, he was very young at the time, couldn't drive a stick shift.
I'll tell you what, dude. If I had a certain level of money, which I'm sure Matthew Broderick has crossed at some point in his life, I would never drive again. Like, I'm that dude that would be cool with. I'm serious. I'm that guy that I would 100% prefer to have a driver. Than
you wouldn't want to have a fast car and just drive it around? Like, this car's so fun to drive.
Hammer time, you know me. Do I want a fast car? Or do I want something small that I can easily drive? I prefer to have other people drive me around. I'll be honest with you.
I got a Segway. It'd be like a Joe Bluth going everywhere on a Segway.
Trying to get up that hill.
Yeah.
Speaking of Arrested Development, Jason Bateman was in Hogan's Family, also Teen Wolf 2.
Why are you on this
Yeah.
family thing?
Because nobody remembers it but me, apparently. And then,
I remember the show. I just didn't remember her being in it, and I glanced and didn't
well,
see her
maybe
in
you
it,
remember the first part of the show, because in the first show they had the mom, and then in the second one they didn't have a mom, like the mom had died or something. They brought it's really there's like two different.
Was it like a contract dispute or something? So
I have no idea. I'm like 8, 9 years old watching Hogan's Family. I don't know when the hell did that show even come out. Was it around Perfect Strangers time? I don't know. We're going off. What
90?
the music in this movie?
his
Not
music
talking
is
about the
always
score.
great. By the
The
way,
score-
Hughes.
exactly.
Oh.
John Hughes knows how to pick songs. Chicka chicka, boom, doom, doom,
Boom.
doom, 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 doom. What was your favorite song in here, Hammer Time?
Twist and Shout.
Of course.
Yeah, me too.
Which
The
they
Beatles
can't.
do such a good job, and it's just so energetic and loud, and it just brings you into it, man. It's such a great song. The whole soundtrack is amazing. But all the John Hughes films, I don't know if he's got just a really good sound guy or he goes ahead and he picks these songs themselves, because writing and directing, some things you have to hand off. But maybe, and Kevin Smith's this way, he's very picky about the music used in the film, and he's very hands-on with the music. Hopefully that's the case. The soundtrack is just phenomenal, and it goes for all his films. There's no exception. There's a Family Guy not too long ago where they got kicked out of this rich person's house, and he's got the guy's wallet. He's like, oh, it could be a lot. And like, oh, no, he doesn't have the wallet. The people, he's like, you forgot your wallet. And he gives him this rich kid's wallet, and it's not his. He's like, ooh, chicka chicka. And the guy's like, you saying that chicka chicka, I don't think it is your wallet. He's like, oh, I chicka chicka too soon, or whatever. He does the chicka chicka thing. But that's, obviously a reference.
Yeah.
Dude, the soundtrack is so good, man. So
Speaking
good.
of chicka chicka, what about you, Brooks? What do you think about the music in the film?
I thought it was good. It captures the time period
Mhm.
at which the movie is, and John Hughes has always been good about that. But yeah, I don't think people may have never even known about that oh yeah song if it wasn't for this movie.
Yeah,
When you listen to it, it's a really weird kind of weird drawn out instrumental synthetic song where you're just like, oh yeah. I think that's like the only lyric in the entire song.
He kind of plays
Yeah, it just fits so perfectly with that scene of him seeing the car. Because that's like what you'd be thinking is, like, oh yeah.
What do you think, Dylan, about the music?
Yeah, I love it. I'd say the Twist and Shout is probably my favorite, just because that's like my favorite Beatles song. But I think Brooks is right. Like that song just like fits perfectly, the oh yeah and everything with the song and
You
everything.
can't hear that song without thinking of Ferris Bueller to this
Really
day,
can't.
right?
Yeah.
It's probably like he said, man. It's not as popular or even known without that movie. It
Absolutely.
almost feels like it was made for that movie,
Right? And that's how John Hughes soundtracks go. Like, you can't tell me Simple Minds didn't write that song for Breakfast Club.
They didn't?
I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't know
Matt-
either.
Matthew Broderick has a Simple Minds poster in his
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yes, he does.
He does. Jay Strick, you're a little bit of a musician yourself. Why don't you take us back to Hope City and tell us what you think about the music in this?
Severely retired, but the music's great. It fits with the youthfulness of the film. I think I like the music at the end when he's running. I think it fits the scene perfect, and I like how they kind of chop it up. And when like he stops in certain spots, like in the house, and it's like dinner's ready, and then those girls, he goes back. I thought that was great.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Ferris Bueller.
Hey,
Yeah.
You gotta make those connections, man.
Yeah, man, got to.
Another, probably we haven't mentioned the most important song in the movie. Dankeschön, my darling, Dankeschön. 4 times in the film, y'all. 4 freaking times. He sings it in the shower.
He is, yeah.
Then he sings it in the parade. And here's the thing, by the way, the parade scene. When I was a kid, I thought Matthew Broderick was singing that shit. No, he's lip syncing.
Yeah.
It's a lady's voice for Duncan.
But also, Ed Rooney, the scene where he's like walking away from the Bueller household, at one of the scenes he's humming the song. And
Oh,
then
nice.
Jennifer Grey, when she's leaving the prison after making out with Charlie Sheen, hums it as well. And who wouldn't?
Right?
But seriously, y'all, if anybody nowadays in 2020 wants to make out with Charlie Sheen, don't.
They probably could, though. I think it wouldn't be that hard now.
Yeah, he's got nothing else going on, I guess.
Mike is here to like set the record straight. Sandy Duncan was in Hogan's Family. It was Valerie's house before. That's right. It was Valerie's
No,
house.
it's not true.
And I don't think it was the mom. I think it was a different nanny. I
guess you can just cut out the whole Hogan's Family part in the segment, right?
Yeah, right. I'm going to go through and I'm going to edit out all the Hogan's Family references. Come on. This is my only chance to talk about that shit. Like we're ever going to do a Hogan's Family season 1 review.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Next week on the channel, we're doing a season 1 Hogan's Family, Jason Bateman extravaganza.
We should get to work on the Hogan's Family movie. Bring back the interest.
No shit. And they had the 2 younger brothers. You guys don't remember? Strickland's way too young to
remember it. Like I probably watched it like when I was really young, but I don't remember anything about it.
Mikey, thank you for the super chat. We'll address that question in the after show. We've already gone off topic too much tonight. Okay. What is this movie about? Here's what this movie's about. I'm tired. I am sick and fucking tired of people bashing Ferris Bueller's character and saying that he's a selfish, narcissistic, even the villain of the piece, that he ruined Cameron's life. He got him in trouble. He's a dickhead. He gets away with everything. He doesn't work for what he earns and all that kind of shit. I'm tired of that because this is an anti-suicide movie to me. 100%, yo.
Yeah.
If you look at Breakfast Club, which came before, there's a little scene in there that they start touching on this subject. And I think this is something John Hughes was very intentionally doing. But in Breakfast Club, why did the nerd Anthony Michael Hall wind up in detention? Because he brought a gun to school. Why did he bring the gun to school? He said, I was going to use it on myself. Right? Okay? But then it just kind of gets glossed over. And then in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when Cameron's sick in the beginning, and let's be honest, he's not sick in this film. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he gets out of the house, he's not sick. He's not sniveling. He's not like pasty-faced and just, I mean, he's pasty-faced, but just because that's how Alan Ruck looks. But when he's laying there and he just looks up and he goes, I'm dying. I think that's very literal. And I think that Ferris Bueller knows that his friend's in a very dark place and maybe even knows that that day may be the day. And he wants to give him the best day of his life. So he skips school. He gets his buddy to steal his dad's car. They go to an art museum and see some of the finest art ever. They go to the top of Sears Tower, at the point one of the highest buildings in the world. Don't they mention it's the tallest building in the world?
Yeah.
It's not the case anymore. But takes them to a fancy-ass restaurant that they completely con their way into, and takes them to a Cubs game. I mean, could you think of a better day to have, especially when you're 17? And
I wouldn't have eaten pancreas, but beyond that.
Well, that's funny because they're the deleted scenes where apparently where that comes from, but they leave the bit in the movie where he says we ate pancreas today, right? Because they're at that French restaurant. But and we all know they just eat snakes and pancreases, or is it pancreas?
Pirates of the Pancreas.
Pirates of the Pancreas. No, but I'm very serious, man. This is Ferris Bueller trying to save his friend's life. Everybody, and that's 100%. And when he's looking. He repeats this twice, but he says something about like life is like a joyful thing. And if you don't stop to look at it every once in a while, you'll miss it. Yeah. Like, I think that this 100% is Ferris Bueller saving his friend. And here's the thing. All the shit talk about Ferris being an asshole goes out the window. When the car gets wrecked, what does Ferris do? Ferris says, tell your dad it was me. He already hates me. I'll take the fall. He's not always scared in responsibility. Sometimes he's going to jump in front of the bullet. He will for Cameron because Cameron's his best friend and he wanted to save his life. And that's what I think this movie really, really is deeper into it. So that's what I think the movie's about. What do you think this movie's about, Jay Strick?
That is an interesting point. I don't think I've ever thought of it that way before, but I think I can get behind it because like I get the sense like Cameron seems pretty hopeless and lost and not in a great place. And it kind of seems like I think Dylan said he's kind of just given up. And so he says the best day of his life. Like, this is it. This is the best day. And he finally gets the whole car thing happens. And he finally is like, nah, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna fight back. You know, I'm gonna fight back against my dad and this anxiety, this depression thing, basically. And that's cool. Like I totally get behind that, and I like the message behind that. That's really, really cool when you think about it from that perspective.
When Cameron was in Egypt land,
Let my
Cameron
Remember
go.
that.
Hammer time. What's this movie about to you?
That does make a lot of sense, man, when you say that, because you think about it, sans the car, because they needed a car to get into the city. It could have just been him and Sloan. It could have been just a date. You know what I'm saying? Or them going out and having fun. So it sounds like he really pushed Cameron to get out of his bubble or whatever. So I kind of see that. I don't know. I never really thought about it. I just thought it was a fun day in the life with a very charismatic guy and enjoyable film. And it gives you a nice slice of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Although they don't eat any deep dish, so I feel like that was a miss.
Yeah, you're right. You're
It's
right.
kind of a whiff.
Otherwise, they covered a lot of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And that makes more sense. I mean, again, maybe he was doing it to try to get Cameron out of the house or help Cameron out. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was. There's always more to it. I don't think John Hughes did anything just casually, like, oh, here's just a thing I wrote. There's no real point to it. No, there's always some depth there and some underlying stuff. I think he was a really good writer, very smart writer. And that, you know, I mean, obviously he has the biggest arc. So maybe that was kind of like the reason, you know what I'm saying? The whole, I don't know.
No, I think you're right. You're 100% right there. And that's the genius of John Hughes. He's able to make these movies that come across as comedies, but at the same time, we're saying something very, very particular and very real and nuanced about the experience of being an American teenager at that time. He does it with Pretty in Pink, which he didn't direct, but he wrote. He does it with 16 Candles even, but he exceptionally does it in Ferris Bueller and Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
He doesn't treat them like kids. They're real people with real issues and real problems. And even though at this time he wasn't a teenager, he still feels like he's connected to what they're going through, you know? Yeah, so 100%. Dylan, what do you think this movie's about to you?
Man, like what you said, man, I never really thought about it. Like Hammer Time said, like, always just thought it was kind of a day in the life film, but the way you put it, that's exactly how I see it now, you know? I think he's just trying to help his buddy out, get him out of that bubble, get him out of that slump, and show him the best day of his life, you know, because it's somebody who he thinks he might not get to hang out with as much after high school, you know, because college can separate him. You know, they'll go to different schools. Maybe they'll never hang out with each other that much ever again. Maybe they'll see each other once a year, and he's like, I got to get him out of this bubble before it's too late, and maybe maybe I'll never see my friend again or something, you know. So yeah, man, Ferris Bueller, he's spoiled. That's the only thing I'd say about him. Other than that, man, he's a caring friend. You know, he'll back his friends up in the end of the day, or at the end of the day, like he did with the car. You know, he was willing to take that blame. And yeah, I can never see Ferris Bueller as a villain. That's just absolutely ridiculous to me.
He's one righteous dude, man. He couldn't be the villain, you know. And that's why I look at this movie that way. Even if you took the suicide aspect out, which maybe that's not the full case, but I think it is, right? But even if that wasn't, he is trying to get Cameron to break out of his shell. Now, here's the thing. If you're trying to help your friend crawl out of depression and give him the best day of his life, maybe don't be making out with your girlfriend around him the whole time, too. Do you know what I'm saying? But aside from, I mean, I think he's doing the right thing. And I think Ferris is scared of what Cameron's life would be like without him, without his influence, too. Like, even if it's not like that day he could kill himself, like even if it's something like when he goes off to college, he's not going to have a Ferris Bueller and he's not going to be able to be open to any other Ferris Bueller, because you get the idea that they've been friends for years and years and years, you know? And when you got a best friend from childhood, I mean, you obviously will, your paths will diverge, you know? So I really think that this really paints Ferris in a good light. And the one thing that he does do that's kind of shitty is the idea of the car. But Ferris 100% really thought that they could take care of the odometer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a stupid idea to run the car backwards, logically that makes sense to a 17-year-old, right? And yeah, he's spoiled, but what white dude from the 80s that lived in suburbia with a mom and a dad who had professional careers wasn't spoiled? You know what I'm saying?
And even Cameron's kind of spoiled in a way.
Oh yeah. Well, like he looked at the house he lived in.
He's spoiled
Yeah.
with things maybe, but he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
spoiled with
like,
love.
not-
Yeah. So, hey, Ferris is just using the tools he's given in life, and he's using what he's got to make it ahead in life. You know,
He's
Nothing
not
wrong with
super
that.
beefy guy. He doesn't have a whip. You know,
Yeah.
he's using what he's got, which is his charm.
Yep.
Speaking of charm,
He's
Brooks,
another jock.
what's this movie about to you?
Well, I think it's kind of about how, like, the balance of people, you know, like you have Ferris over here so carefree and, like, you know, positive, and then you have Cameron on the other end who's always like, even Ferris at one point says, like, he feels more comfortable when he's sick, which is, and like, you know, he's more comfortable like avoiding conflict, you know, just staying home, laying down, and, you know, not facing life. And like Ferris wants to show him, like, you know, how good life can be if you just go out and, you know, take chances and do something, you know, like just roll the dice. Because, you know, in a way, it's easy for someone to say like something like that when they're always winning. Like, so I don't think he really understands Cameron's situation. I think he needs Cameron just as much as Cameron needs him, because, you know, he needs Cameron to pull off the adult voice. Like, if he tried to talk to the principal would have known his voice. So in his own way, he needs Cameron too. Like, they need each other. Like, they balance each other out in their way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fable has a good point. He says Ferris needs Cameron to not go overboard, meaning that without Cameron's influence, maybe Ferris will go too far sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it is about that balance. That's really profound, Brooks. We can always count on Brooks to be profound.
Yeah, like Cameron's the voice of reason.
Sometimes. But
Yeah.
most of the time, it
Sometimes
seems like
he's just a
Ferris.
broken bitch.
Oh yeah, only when Ferris is about to go overboard.
It's a good line. You're not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do.
Yeah.
Let my Cameron go. All right, let's address Mikey's question. He says, is this better or worse than Showgirls, the director's cut? And why exactly is Showgirls better? So let's go across the panel. It's not better than Showgirls. It is not. Showgirls is not better than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's is superior film to Showgirls. What do you think, Strickland?
I've never seen Showgirls, so I cannot answer this
Watch
question.
that one with a wife. What about you, Hammer Time? I'm just kidding. Strickland, don't watch that.
I would say an inspiration is not better than the offspring. So, like, people influenced the Beatles were not better than the Beatles. And if you think about Ferris Bueller, he inspired Zach from Saved by the Bell. Jesse is in Showgirls. Therefore, Ferris Bueller's superior product.
Okay, I know what we were talking about now that he said Jesse.
I like that line of reasoning, John. What about you, Dylan? What's better?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Dylan's like, why are you asking me
Have
this
you
fucking
seen the
question?
X-rated version, though, of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where Cameron shows his goods? Have you seen that one?
Is that when he jumps in the pool?
Yeah.
What about you, Brooks? What's better?
I've never seen Showgirls. I've only heard.
I have either, to be honest.
So I wouldn't be comfortable saying one way or the other.
He's only seen certain parts.
I don't think you're missing out. I don't think you're missing out on anything.
Oh, I know it could be a masterpiece.
I'll tell you this. Showgirls has a cult
No.
following. It does. I'll say that about it.
Shocker.
I've never seen the director's cut either. I saw the original back in the day when
The Snyder cut of
the Snyder cut of Showgirls.
Showgirls.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
All right, let's get to the ratings. And you out there in the chat, let us know out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Strickland, what do you give it?
No brainer. 5 you digs for me. It is such a freaking classic movie. Like I said, when I envisioned skipping school, I envisioned it with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what it was to me. And so the movie on the rewatch was just as enjoyable. I was just giggling the whole time, just laughing, man. And really watching, more of Cameron's scenes and even, man, I forget her name. Ferris's sister's name, Jeannie.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Grey.
her arc in this rewatch, and man, it's cool. It's just cool to see the character development there. So 5 digs.
What about you, Hammer Time Holshoe?
I would say 4.5. It's not the best film ever made, but it's better than most films, and it's a great film. I mean, it's got good arcs, it's funny, it's got good music, it's got a great cast. There's no like cardboard acting at all. And there's some films that I love, and unfortunately some of my favorite films have some cardboard acting. Kevin Smith, not Kevin, but some of Kevin's friends in his earlier.
Jason
we'll
Goes
get
to
into that.
Hell.
Anyway,
One of your favorite films. Jason Goes to Hell is one of your favorite films. It's got some cardboard acting.
Jason Goes to Hell is not my favorite.
I was about to say, come on.
Why you always talking about how much you
So
love
I
Jason
do love that.
Hell,
I
dude?
do love Jason Goes to Hell. The first 10 minutes of it is great.
Oh,
Anyway.
you're right. You're right about that.
The rest of the film is garbage. 4.5. Yeah, because it's not the best film ever, but it's so close, and it's such a good film. And I don't think John Hughes either wrote or directed a bad film. He's got such a great collection of films. He's just, I mean, have we done a John Hughes podcast yet?
No, but I was thinking about that today. I was like, we need to do a John Hughes podcast.
We do.
For sure.
I agree.
He was
100%.
churning them out, man, back in the day. It was crazy. I mean, dude, he freaking wrote this in a week.
We did a John Hughes segment on something. It was either in the SOE days doing the high school movies podcast, or it was on the 80s comedy podcast. I think we did a segment. We didn't do a whole podcast, though, but we definitely could. Dylan, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
4.5.
Cool.
I'd say it holds up over the years. It doesn't ever get old, but yeah, it's not my favorite John Hughes, but it's probably top 5. There's some other ones that I like better, but they're all so good, so it's really hard to, like, if I had to do a top 5, top 10, it would be hard because they're all so good in their own way, you know. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
4.5 is really solid, and I'm right there with you. I don't think, like you and John, I don't think there's a bad John Hughes movie. And even the ones that he just wrote and didn't even direct, like, I mean, he wrote Vacation, you know? Yeah. He wrote The Great Outdoors. He wrote Home Alone. He wrote Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink's probably my least favorite. Dutch. Hell yeah, Dutch. Ed O'Neill and Ethan
Embry,
yes.
What was his name in that before he changed his name? Ethan Randall?
I don't remember. He had a different name?
He used to use his, like, Graham. He changed his name partly.
He changed his name for Empire Records.
I was telling Fable because I like doing this. I saw that one of my favorites growing up was that Dennis the Menace remake that he wrote as well. Castle directed that, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I never knew that growing up, you know. But I always loved that movie. But yeah, man, he was writing some good stuff, man. He didn't even have to direct it. He just would write amazing stories.
Great writer. And this was one of the few PCP Army movie polls where, like, I would have been way cool with any of the winners.
Yeah, me too.
Usually it's like, I hope this one doesn't win. But this one, I was 100% down for all of them. Brooks, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you give Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I'd give it 4.5. I think if I hadn't seen The Breakfast Club, I may have actually given it a 5. But I've got that bias now, so.
Son of a bitch.
They can both be 5s, Brooks.
Yeah, I think Ferris Bueller is a little weaker than Breakfast Club, really.
It is for sure.
All right. So I'm going to agree with everybody except for Strickland and say 4.5. I think the movie's really good. It's not a perfect film. It's not without its flaws. I think if I wanted to nitpick it, it's got pacing issues. Could be a little bit more, like, quick in getting from scene to scene, and they could even done more. You know what I'm saying? Like, with a little bit more of a faster pace. But for its time, it was almost flawless. It's not my favorite John Hughes film, but it's very close. But like Brooks said, I've seen Breakfast Club, and Breakfast Club's a 5 you digs for me. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is 4.5. So 4.5 from me. Jay Strick gave it a perfect score of 5. Hammer Time Holshoe and Dylan and Brooks with 4.5. We're at a PCP average of 4.6. Let's just say that. So there you go. Looking out in the chat, Fable says 4.5. You digs? Mikey says theatrical cut 4, X-rated cut 5. Easy Reader says 4.5. And Mike06, which is the voice, says 4.5 as well. And then we got another super chat from Mikey. Says way better than Super Fart Man Goes to College. Well, there you go. We appreciate the super chats tonight, y'all. So enjoy. Anyway, that concludes our coverage and review of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but have no fear. The show is not over. We'll be taking a short intermission. When we come back, we'll be bullshitting for a while and then going into show and tell. Y'all, we appreciate everything. Keep it real. We will be right back. When Robbie was in Egypt land, let my Robbie go. One thing we didn't mention was that Ferris Bueller has one of the earliest, not the first, I don't think, but one of the earliest post-credit scenes. So it's kind of a giveaway that it happens because there's a scene going on throughout the entire credits.
It's like they had a scene at the end credits, so like you just sit there and naturally you watch the scene. Just so Ferris can tell you to go home.
No shit, right? All right. Mike says Power Rangers Wave 6 is announced. Yeah, I saw that. I'm on the Hasbro mailing list, homie. I knew they were making a big Power Rangers announcement today. So I figured that would be it. Power Rangers Wave 6 is a Lightning Collection. Is going to be in Space Yellow, Zeo Red, which I'm super pumped for, Goldar, but at least it's not the exact same Goldar from the GameStop exclusive. It doesn't have wings, which is interesting. But whatever. I'll buy another Goldar figure. Why not? And the other one, of course, Mighty Morphin Black, to finally finish the Mighty Morphin collection, and then maybe we'll get Dragon Shield Red. That'd be super, super cool. What do you think about that, Strickland? That wave?
Love it. I want to see some of the. I want to do Turbo too, man. I know that's like not a popular one, but if I'm gonna get the Zeo, all the Tommy stuff, like I got to get the Turbo one. Then
You saw the? Have you looked at him yet?
I haven't even seen him.
Tommy's got the long Zeo hair, it's flowing.
Yeah, I got the. I got to open the Lord Drake, and then he got his head. He's got like the long hair too, which I think is dope. Looks good.
Hold on. There you go.
Nice. He's got like scar on his face.
That's one of the best head sculpts, man. Is for Tommy.
It is. He got the little helmet. Dope, man. It's good stuff.
Me and you were the Power Ranger guys, so we just wanted to get that out of the way. Easy Reader says, hey, Robbie, sorry about Aquaman. Yeah, Aquaman's getting canceled at issue 64, but don't worry, it's coming back. Aquaman will be coming back. Some of the others will not. They announced Teen Titans, Young Justice, Hawkman, a few others being canceled. Let's talk about this. I'll cover it on the weekly pop culture wrap-up, obviously, and we'll talk about it on Sunday night's live stream. But DC making all the cuts. There are some people out there that are talking about how, oh, God, this is the death of the comic book industry. It's because comic book sales have been slipping, blah, blah, blah. No. COVID happened, and now guess what Warner Brothers isn't making billions of dollars on? Movies, right? So they're making tons of cuts across the board at Warner Brothers right now. Obviously, DC's a part of it, but I think it has led to some leadership changes that needed to be done. I've said this for many months now. I do not think that Jim Lee I don't think his strength is going to be as a sole publisher. So they moved him down, chief creative officer. That's fine. I think that works. That's the role that he already had as co-publisher, and now he's back to doing what he wants to do, and that's being the line of communication between DC and all the other interpretations of DC out there, right? TV, video games, movies, animation, shit like that, right? They've hired or they bumped up two women, one of them Marie Javins, who Scott Snyder's a huge fan of. That's going to really please him over at DC. So I think they're now co-editor-in-chiefs. That's weird to have two. And then they're bringing in, instead of a publisher, basically, they're bringing in this guy from the world of esports to be the general manager. And they're looking at it more that way. But it's a cost-cutting method that they're doing with these cuts. And it sucks that some of these people have been hard at work, like Brian Cunningham, Bobby Chase, excellent people doing what they do best. And it sucks for them to lose their jobs. But it's not like, why is it every 3 months someone wants to signal the death knell of the comic book industry? They've been doing this shit since the 40s. DC's not going to stop publishing comic books. You know why? Because they've got intellectual properties, and it's basically like a stewing pot for ideas. That's what Marvel and DC Comics are right now. It's just a stewing pot of ideas for
even the indie stuff, like
stories in these comics could be the next movie. Like eventually they're gonna end up making like a Planet Hulk movie.
Well, they did the animated film. Remember?
Yeah.
And
They made a World War Hulk one.
well, they're the closest thing they had to that was Thor Ragnarok. They did a little bit of Planet Hulk in there because Marvel still doesn't have the sole rights to do a solo Hulk film. They have to share that with Universal, and they're not wanting to play ball right now. So
that's what I think. Like Shazam, that's being written right now. That's about to end. I bet you that's Shazam 2, the movie, because you know it's ending, and they just announced that it's about to go into production and start being filmed. So it's funny that that series is ending because Jeff Johns has to go work on Shazam 2. You know.
Well, we'll see how much of a future Jeff Johns has on that project after some of the allegations. But
really.
But we'll see. But I guarantee you this, and I've been saying this on the weekly comic book review pretty much since the beginning of Jeff Johns' run. His Shazam arc is movie 2. It's got to be. It's the most captivating and cool story out of Shazam aside from the origin to me. And then all you got to do is throw Black Adam into it, but they don't want to do that. I think it's still a bad idea not to do the Black Adam in a Shazam movie. He's a Shazam villain first. You've got to introduce it there, then you can move on. That's just me. I know that
is the Rock still supposed to be Black Adam?
And DC fandom is it this weekend or next weekend? It's next weekend, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be talking about Shazam, and the Rock's supposed to be there, and they'll be talking about some of that.
I'm honestly not really a fan of the Rock being Black Adam, and I think that's the only reason why he's getting a solo film, because it's the Rock, and he's so.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
He's spoiled.
It'll make money. I mean, yeah.
You're probably right about that.
Yeah.
I think he would have been fine as. I think the Rock would have been fine as Shazam. You know, like honestly.
True.
And I really like Mark Strong as Savannah, but he was a better Sinestro. And I really feel like at the end of Shazam, Savannah had a pretty weak third act like villain appearance, you know, but I think he'll be better in the next one. But to be honest, I've always thought Shazam villains, aside from Black Adam, were pretty freaking lame. You know,
Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind. You know, they're doing it. They already alluded to it, right?
Yeah.
In Shazam. Yeah.
It was a little teaser. I forget how they did it.
Was it a post-credits thing or something they did?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That he was like in a jar or something. I forget what happened. It's been a while since.
He shows up. The jars. They notice the jar's broken.
Yeah.
I think before the credits, and then after the credits, they show him talking to the other dude. And he's, anyway. But it was a post-credits thing.
Yeah. So movie 2 is probably going to be Savannah and Mr. Mind working together, right?
Yeah. That's what they alluded to anyway, but who knows?
That works.
They kind of tease sequels all the time that don't happen.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to happen. Shazam's got 3 villains that everybody knows. Like, even me, comic book historian that I could be, possibly, I can really only name 3 fucking Shazam villains. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And that goes right... That goes with, well, he's a good guy. That goes, I mean, I get it. Tony the Tiger is the villain. He's always trying to get people to work out and shit. Like, what's wrong with you? I just want to eat cereal. I don't want to play basketball. Then eat cereal? That's a terrible idea. I want to play basketball, get right off the court, and eat some damn cereal. Some highly sugarized cereal.
Yeah, drink it. Dude, nothing energizes you after you've been playing like drinking a bunch of milk.
Yeah, except for maybe cookie dough. Remember that SNL commercial?
Yes. Gatorade cookie dough.
Oh my gosh.
Did you guys ever see that skit? It's hilarious. It's like they're all like out there working out, playing basketball or whatever. They're super sweaty and they get these Gatorade bottles and they just got cookie dough and they're just like slowly
raw cookie dough and
pouring it out of their mouths. And
you remember that movie Idiocracy? Did you ever see that?
Of course.
Where they pour Gatorade on everything because it's got electrolytes.
It's what plants want. It's what they crave.
It's got what plants need. It's got electrolytes.
That's Terry Crews as the president, man.
Is it?
Camacho.
Camacho Mountain Dew something. He's like, I know things are fucked up, man. They are. But this dude, he's smart as hell. And he's
your record. Put toilet water on it.
We're living that movie right now, by the way.
Yeah.
He's saying we
Going
can,
for this
he's
close
saying
land.
we can drink toilet water.
Out my
away,
balls.
Satan.
If they put out My Balls right now, it'd be the #1 rated show on network TV, and you know it. We'd watch it. We'd do fucking reviews. We'd be like, tonight on PCP Movie Night, we're talking about Out My Balls, episode 37. 37?
Man, can you believe Gideon Falls is ending though?
100%, because I can feel the ending approaching. I've said that.
I haven't been reading because I'm getting it in trades. So,
reading it issue to issue. I've even mentioned this on the weekly comic book review. I was like, I feel like we're nearing the end.
Yeah.
And it's always one of those things where you don't want one of your favorite books and literally one of the best and most innovative comic books on shelves. You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
But all good things come to an end. And
just like Middle West, you know.
Yeah, you don't want it to go too long and meander around. And this is a story that already had a definitive ending and plan. So I'm glad to see them execute it. And it's not the end of Lemire and Sorrentino working together. 100% not. So I'm pleased. And the last issue is 80 pages.
Yeah. I hope it gets turned into a Netflix show one day. That'd be perfect.
I think hasn't it already been optioned for something? I'm sure everything is freaking option.
Everything's option now.
Yeah, I heard Cartoon Network's going to have it, but they're going to do it like Teen Titans Go.
Bro, I'd watch that, honestly.
or Thundercats Roar, or but the She-Ra thing gets lumped in all that. The She-Ra show's good, right, Brooks?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like She-Ra.
A very interesting take on the character.
Yeah, I think it's
I
good.
love She-Ra. You what was I gonna say? I read that Firepower 3 is supposed to really show what the story is gonna be all about. Kirkman said it like a Comic-Con panel that he said before it ever came out that Firepower 3 was gonna be like a big issue and show what the story's all really about. So I guess this has kind of all been set up.
Everybody needs to get on top of it too if you like Firepower, because usually by issue 3 orders go down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, true.
yeah, and these orders were put in as one wasn't even released yet. So that's why you start seeing that dip in issues 3 especially. Usually it's a 2-issue, issue 2 dip. It used to be very common knowledge that issue 2s were lower ordered, and they are, but 3s and 4s are even lower. And that's one of the reasons why I think Thor even hit harder with issues 4 and 5. We got a super chat from Mikey.
Yeah.
You know what that means, everybody. Bear with us. We hadn't had to do many of these Joker things in the movie review live streams. It's always a curious thing too. It's like, do we interrupt the movie review to throw in the Joker video? And I don't think so, because we distract ourselves enough during the movie review. So I definitely, but from this point forward, we'll do it. Anyway, Mikey wants to know, any of y'all even care about the next phase Marvel movies after Endgame felt like an end? DC and indie stuff seems more intriguing. #underdog. So let's go right across the board, but let's start backwards. Brooks, do you even care about the next phase of Marvel?
Yeah, I want to see what they're gonna do next. Like what new heroes they can do. I mean, they did such a good job with this first one. Like all they gotta do is just keep that momentum going. And like there's so many characters in the Marvel stable that they can pull from, and make good movies. I'm still excited about Marvel movies. I'm glad they're taking kind of a break to kind of slow down with it for a little bit. Let us let interest build back up, I guess.
It wasn't necessarily their decision.
Yeah. I mean, like even before that, they kind of winded down a little bit after Endgame.
Yeah, they did. What about you, Dylan? You excited about Marvel Phase 4?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I was gonna say I feel like it's kind of almost like an X-Men Hickman thing where it's people are like, oh man, like we've been getting so spoiled with 3 movies a year, and now we didn't get anything this year. It's probably gonna be a while for the TV shows, it's gonna be a while for the movies, and we've been getting so spoiled that now people are like, am I really even looking forward to anything? It feels like we're we're not getting nothing. You know, is Shang-Chi gonna even be any good? You know, it's these characters that people were kind of already acting like they were like not excited for, like Eternals, and it's like, man, I'm excited for it. I am a little skeptical because it is a new start. It's not the same stuff we've been getting, but
you mean anus tart?
We got us an anus tart.
but
Have you ever seen Arrested Development, Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you just didn't what the hell did you just call me?
I love that show, man. But yeah, I'm always gonna be excited for that stuff. I think I'm most excited for the Batman, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
but
who's not always excited for the next Batman film, right?
Heck yeah. I just wish that we would have gotten Black Widow and New Mutants so that we can get into like when the COVID shit is all over and theaters are open up and movies are dropping, that we could have just got into Shang-Chi and Eternals and stuff. Now it's like we gotta wait. We're gonna, by the time everything comes together, we're gonna finally then get Black Widow and New Mutants, and then we still gotta wait like another year for all the Shang-Chi and Eternals and stuff. When we would have got that, by the time we get Black Widow, we would have been getting Shang-Chi and Eternals. So that's the only bummer,
It's gonna be like fucking 4 years before we get Blade movie.
Seriously, and that's what I'm looking forward to most.
What about you, John? You looking forward to the Marvel movies coming forward? And I know you're not necessarily the biggest Marvel guy, but I know you love Black Panther. I meant X-Men.
I'm excited to see them, the X-Men and Fantastic Four, be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But of the movies announced, I'm not really excited about anything immediately coming out. But ultimately, there's some stuff coming out, like Blade, but that's a little further down the road. You know what I'm saying? The next wave, like the stuff that's about to come out, but there's some stuff that's on the horizon that I'm more excited about than anything. So I don't know.
I mean, I feel like people are like, I'm not really excited, which I kind of feel the same, but I still, deep down, I'm like, well, besides Captain Marvel, they haven't really let us down, and nobody really gave a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy. Now they're huge, So
Good
it's
point.
like, I'm kind of excited to see what they can do for Shang-Chi, a character I know nothing about besides, he's kind of like a Bruce Lee character or the
everything you need to know.
Kung Fu.
Yeah. But Eternals too. Like, I think people are definitely sleeping on the shows, which is another thing I wish we would have got, man. It's like perfect time to be dropping.
Disney wishes they would have got that too, man. They were like, damn, man, Mandalorian was said and done, and now we're like, fuck, what we do to keep people interested? Dude. Hamilton, Mulan. They're like, you gotta
$30? Yeah, get the out of here.
Hey, we had a generous donation from one of the members of the PCP Army, a general in the PCP Army actually, paid for us to watch Mulan. So we're doing it. Anybody that wants to come to my house, we're going to watch Mulan, and we'll film, hopefully on the new set, even though it won't be complete. We'll film a video for it. So that's something we're doing. Thanks for donations from the PCP Army, and one member in particular. I don't know if he wants me to name him, but HC paid for our Mulan privileges. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, $30 for a family on Mulan. That's cool. If you're a mom and dad and you got like 4 kids or whatever, maybe nowadays maybe it's less. I don't know if it's more. I don't know. Down here in Alabama, it seems like everybody's got 8 fucking kids. But if you got a family with some kids, $30 for Mulan, that's saving you money from going to the theater. But if you're a single dude living alone and you're like, I really want to watch Mulan. like if me or Brooks had to pay, or John or Dylan had to pay for this shit separately, even Strickland with his wife, like $30, that's almost comparable to a movie ticket, but
I guess movie and popcorn and a soda, you're at like 30.
A movie, popcorn, and a soda is like $20 just for one person.
That's more than the Blu-ray. That's something that if I was excited about and did want to watch, I'm like, I'll wait till 6 months and I'll buy the Blu-ray for $25. You know what I'm saying? Watch it infinitely.
Yeah, and once you buy it, you have to maintain your Disney Plus subscription in order to have access to it. Because when you cancel that subscription, you lose the movie.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't understand how that works. Like, stupid.
It is.
Bro,
If
it
you
doesn't
can watch
even have
it's not-
Mushu in
it's
it,
not
bro.
just a rental thing.
Yeah, Mushu's not even in
Yeah,
it.
you can rewatch it, John. As
Oh, I didn't
long as
know that. I didn't know
as
you were
long as
buying
you're-
it.
Yeah, I thought it was renting.
but only if you're a Disney Plus subscriber. You know, like on
Okay.
Amazon, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you buy a movie, and you cancel your Amazon Prime, you still have access to that movie.
I've never bought a movie on there. I'll take your word for it.
I have two.
Oh, aren't we, Mr. Fancy Pants?
Well,
Just
Split.
buying movies right and left. I look like I'm
Split.
jacking people off.
Split because I couldn't find, like, I looked at when we did the Split movie review, I'd never seen it, and I went to get the Blu-ray, and it was like $25, and so I bought it digitally for $10, and then
Weird stretch.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Super weird stretch.
Well, that was one we watched for my ex's birthday last year or whatever. That's what she wanted to do, so we watched that, but I didn't have it.
I told you my Split issue, right? Where I wanted to watch it and it got leaked or whatever, and so I downloaded it, and it was a fucking like bowling documentary or something.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
What about you,
Also, when we
Strickland?
were watching Rookie or whatever, talk about The Rookie, I downloaded that, and then I got the fucking Rookie movie with Charlie Sheen, where he's a cop.
The Rookie, like the baseball movie?
I
Yeah,
was trying to download the baseball movie. But
I was
I got
trying to get
cop
the
movie.
baseball movie.
That's hilarious.
Jay Strick, are you excited for Wave 4 or Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Getting back
Yeah.
on, I want to make sure everybody gets to
Yeah.
say what they want to say.
Yeah, no, I am. I think it sucks with the COVID stuff and everything got pushed back, like everyone said. I think I'm most excited for the TV shows because that's what I got Disney Plus for, and I've since then canceled it because there's literally nothing I want to watch on there right now. But like, I think the WandaVision and the What If show and the Falcon and Winter Soldier is like really interesting to me. Like, I want to see that. And I think especially with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, with everything going on right now, I think having Anthony Mackie transform into Captain America in that show would be perfect. Just with everything going on in the world right now, I think it would be really, really strong to do that. I don't know if they are or not. I don't know. But that's the one I'd be looking forward to the most out of the movies. I'd be more interested in those shows.
We got Two Gun Pedro in the house.
Fuck you too.
Did he just finger bang us?
I'm gonna finger bang bang you into my life.
See, I'm not the only one that sings. I am excited for Marvel Phase 4. I get what people are saying because, like, I think Black Widow has potential to be a good movie, but it doesn't have the excitement level. But it's following Endgame. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that,
Technically, that was Spider-Man Far From Home. According to the Marvel Encyclopedia of the
but
Cinematic
anyway,
Universe.
well, that's just the editors.
All right.
Believe it or not, young man, I was there. But I mean, here's the thing. Even if people don't respond well to a Black Widow film or Shang-Chi or the Eternals, or even say Doctor Strange, say they don't care about that, which I do. I mean, Sam Raimi's doing it, bro.
Yeah, I'm bored for
I'm
Sam
pumped.
Raimi.
I'm
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. That's gonna
But
be
even
great.
if
Who's that?
even if the interest phases out for a couple years, it will come right back when they do X-Men and Fantastic Four. You know what I'm saying? And am I excited for the future of the MCU? One word. Blade.
Blade is coming.
You know
There are
that
more
I'm
dangerous
excited.
things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
I wonder what they're gonna do.
You
Like,
like me.
because it's got to be a PG-13 Blade.
Does it?
No.
I hope not. But being Disney, don't you think? But I
But
hope
here's
not.
the thing.
Probably.
Here's the thing. You take out a couple of words, and you take out a couple of scenes and references in the original Blade movie, and that's a PG-13 movie today.
Bruh.
I guess
No.
they're.
Well, there's a lot of blood in that movie.
Blood doesn't matter anymore. Not as much. Not when they're vampires and they just dust.
Right.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
saying you tone it down a little bit. You can make a PG-13 Blade movie and you can make it well. But with Deadpool being a part of the MCU now, I think that might change the game. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of R-rated superhero films. You all right? I'm not a fan of the idea because usually I feel like they're just being like, we got to make it R-rated to make it this. Blade's one of those movies that, because of the material and the subtext, even it's a mature film. You know what I'm saying? And it could work in the MCU, but I think it would work fine. I mean, dude, look at fucking Daredevil on Netflix. Like that would be
fire.
But that's more hardcore than some of the stuff in Blade as far as the fighting goes.
Mm-hmm.
Blade's got language and it's got like that, Quinn's getting a blowjob in one of the scenes, whatever. But like it doesn't have any like nudity. It just has some words. I mean, I want to see Blade being like, motherfucker, you out your goddamn mind? I want to see that.
Right.
I want to hear that. But, aside from some of that stuff, and maybe,
a certain number of F-bombs into PG-13s now, can't they?
Apparently one or two, something like that. Depends. But it varies as the ages go. We were talking about John Hughes. 16 Candles is a PG-13 movie. It has breasts in the movie. So
yeah, so Critters
it's PG-13
too, and that's PG-13.
Not the first one.
The second one. That's what
the second one does, and it's PG-13. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Was there
Nowadays,
R back then? There was some reasoning for the nudity in the PG-13 films.
Well, there was PG-13 was brand new, right? Because it was created. It was created because of Temple of Doom. It was Temple of Doom.
It was created for 13-year-olds.
Yep, and then I remember a lot of people said they couldn't watch Temple of Doom growing up because it was like, oh, this one's like violent. You can't watch
because of all the nudity.
No, because he rips that dude's fucking heart out and it's still beating and it's very graphic.
It's not because Indiana shows his Jones.
A whole new meaning to the Indiana Jones whip. Anyway,
is Temple of Doom the one where the Nazi dude's face melts off and it's like
no, that's the third one.
Lost Ark.
Yeah,
no, the third one.
That's Red Skull, man.
When he drinks the Grail, right?
Yeah, it was Temple of Doom.
He melts
in the first one. He gets that dude gets messed up in the first one too when they open the Ark.
Yeah.
No, that's the Ferris Bueller TV show.
Yeah.
Here's something funny. Here's something funny about the Ferris Bueller TV show. It addresses in the first episode the movie, right? And the show takes place in Santa Monica, California.
So you've seen it.
I actually was a fan of it when I was a kid. There's even a moment where they make a Ferris signal. It's like the bat signal, but it's like Ferris, right?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember what channel it was on. Maybe it was Fox or something else. But I remember watching because I loved Ferris Bueller. It was very short lived. But then we had Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and to me that was like the successor of, you have Ferris Bueller, you have Zach Morris, and then you have Parker Lewis. And anybody that knows and remembers Parker Lewis Can't Lose, another one of my favorite shows. Anyway, they address the fact that the movie is based on the real life events of this Ferris Bueller. That's how they approach the show.
So what the hell is it, like a multiverse of Ferrises?
Yes, there is.
That's kind of cool.
Multiverse. Someone needs to address that, right?
They need to do a comic book, man. I'd read that.
Here, I want to talk about something real quick. You know what movies have great ass soundtracks?
A lot of them.
The Bill and Ted movies have great soundtracks. By the way, next week here on PCP Movie Night, we're doing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's right. We're on our way to Face the Music, baby. Guess who just released a video for the soundtrack for Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Wasn't it Weezer?
It was Weezer.
Yeah.
John, tell us about it.
It's a song by Weezer. I think it's called what is it called?
It's called Face the Music.
Damn it, I can't remember now.
It's like the beginning is the end or something?
Yeah. And my problem, first off, I'm hoping there's an extended version because it feels like the song's cut off. Or maybe there will be an extended version. My biggest issue is when they're like talking to each other at the end. It looks like they're not in the same room because I don't think they're in the same room.
I don't think they are. It's the beginning.
But I do love the Kiss reference. Is great. Rivers is a big Kiss fan when they make the Kiss reference.
Maybe there's the Kiss Weezer cover on the album. Wouldn't that be cool on the soundtrack?
Yes.
It's called The Beginning of the End. That's the
Beginning of the End. Okay. I was thinking End of the Game, which is a song off their new album, but Beginning of the End, okay. It's a good song. I'll be honest with you, as much as I love Rivers Cuomo and I'm a big Weezer fan, I'm not digging the mustache, man.
I knew it.
I can't. I'm not a big fan of mustaches. I need to shave, but that's a different cup of tea.
A mustache is not a mustache if it's accompanied by a beard, right?
Yeah.
Mustache.
Yes. Mine is just laziness. This isn't really anything. This is just I need to shave. But
It looks good. You look good.
so, stop it.
I really love that
Go
hair.
on. Go on. Anyway, great song. I'm excited about the movie.
Yeah, me too.
I just watched Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure after I watched Ferris today. It's so good, man.
Yeah,
Dude, excellent. Yeah.
It's so funny.
I just watched it a few weeks ago because I had Chris Matheson on the show, the co-writer and co-creator Bill and Ted, and
Oh yeah.
so I'm ready to watch it again already. And don't worry, Brooks, I got them on Blu-ray. I can pass them off to you. You ain't got to pay for it. Though Jay Strick did say that at Walmart right now there was a 2-pack for $5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at Walmart today, but I didn't see them. But I didn't. They moved a bunch of stuff around, so I didn't really get too thorough of a look. I may have overlooked it.
They're by the frozen
If I
chicken
saw
now.
it for $5 for both of them at Walmart, I'd pick it up definitely.
Yeah, they're definitely worth owning, I think. Yeah, I've got the Shout Factory double feature or whatever that's got 2 new documentaries that they made, and pretty dope.
My question is for you guys: how do you feel about the next gen, their daughters, maybe doing them setting it up for their daughters to take over the franchise and maybe the film with their daughters? You guys okay with that?
I'm actually okay with it because when I was talking to Chris, he said that they were feeling pressure from the studio to make the movie more about the kids, right? And he said that they kind of fought against that a little bit, and that the movie is about Bill and Ted, but it does set that up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with that. I'm 100% cool with that because Bill and Ted as a concept, and I don't know the names of aren't the names of their kids Bill and Ted?
I'm looking at it right now.
Didn't they name at the end of Bogus Journey? Don't they name each of their kids after the other person?
I can't remember.
I think they do, and so you would even get to keep the title, right? And they could still be in it. You'd still have Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, and they love those roles. But I'm pretty sure that they named their kids after each other at the end of Bogus Journey.
I don't
That's
think
why-
they're.
Because everybody was talking about, but I thought they were dudes, and I was like, I don't know, they're women. But the thing is, even if they were girls when they were born, Bill and Ted are the type of characters that would still do that.
Maybe that's their middle name because it's got their names as Thea and Billy in the movie.
That's
Yeah,
Bill,
Bill and Thea.
and Ted.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, dipshit.
Theodore. Theodore short for Teddy, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Thea and Billy, not Bill and Ted. Come on, man.
Dude.
Come on. Anyway, I'm cool with that, man. What about you guys?
Yeah.
I guess my issue is I'm not ready to I know they haven't done a Bill and Ted in a while, but they're like, hey, I'm doing another one. I'm super excited. Oh, they're setting up the next gen. Oh, fuck. That means no more Bill. But they probably weren't going to make another one anyway. I'm just not ready. I don't like changes, Robbie.
Well, they're old as hell, bro. They gotta. If you wanted to keep going.
Reeves doesn't age, bro. Keanu Reeves doesn't age.
I don't know. He looks like a baby in the first one, man.
We got to write the greatest song that unites the world, Bill. I'm tired.
I can't wait to
ready
see
for
them
this
like
movie, man.
full-fledged in prison. They look so jacked.
Oh my no.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They're like
Agreed.
freaking Venom Bane. They're just jacked.
I think every day I watch that trailer. I really do. I watched it today. It pops up on my YouTube. It's like, watch again. I'm like, yes. Thank you.
It comes out like next week, right? Or 2 weeks?
2 weeks. The day that, 2 weeks. The day that we're going to be doing Bogus Journey is the day it comes out. And so we'll figure out how we're going to watch it, whether it's VOD or if we're going to a theater. Now, going to a theater is going to be a different situation for us. I don't even know if Brooks knows this because he's not on socials. I wish Jelani was here to help us to talk about this with us, but Hollywood 18 is closing. Brooks.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's what we've heard. We were trying to get confirmation, but it sounds like it's closing down.
Well, I heard it from Jelani, and I'm sure that Jelani heard it from, he's tight with I guess, but like Christina, for instance. I'm sure,
Marie and all them. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have learned from them. So, Yeah.
I wouldn't
bad.
be surprised. I mean, it was never very busy. In the last couple of years, it's really declined. The only time I saw it busy, I'd see it like opening of a big Marvel movie, like that Friday night it'd be busy. But other than that, it wasn't busy. I remember going to the opening of the new Alien movie, and I realized Alien doesn't have the same pull as before, but it was like me and 2 other people in the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how can they sustain, keeping this building open? And so I was worried that it wasn't going to be around much longer. And
People don't like that Alien Covenant. I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I enjoy,
I like Covenant. I think Prometheus was fantastic. I think Covenant's just okay. I think there was too much fan service.
I think the aliens are dope.
Because everyone acted like, oh, there's no aliens in Prometheus. But I thought that movie was fantastic.
Yeah, Prometheus is the better film, but Covenant was really, I think, Ridley Scott trying to make people happy, and he shouldn't make people happy. He should do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Exactly.
That new show he's got coming up on HBO looks amazing.
He's got an alien show? Or something?
Oh, yeah, there's a show it's like, I don't know if it's Earth or a different planet, and there's like this robot's raising these kids, and they're being attacked. It's like a sci-fi show he's got coming to HBO, and it looks amazing.
It's not attached to the alien world, though.
Okay.
No. It's a separate thing, but it looks freaking awesome.
He was supposed to have. He said that he had like 5 or 6 of those alien more, or I think there was like a 6 series arc. So Prometheus, there have been like 4 more. I don't know what the hell. Like I guess because Covenant didn't do so good. And it's like
it was the response to Prometheus and Covenant that did that. Even Covenant was a big battle for him to get made because it was supposed to be Prometheus and like what Paradise Lost, and then another one that started with the P, and then like he fought for they wanted Prometheus to be called Alien something. You right?
Oh, pajamas. It was P. Alien pajamas.
But he had a fight to get Covenant done, and like John said, there is that fan service where I think that was his. In order to get the movie made, I think he had to do that stuff for Fox at the time. Now Disney's got the property, and who knows what they'll fucking do with it.
Oh my god!
But I love Prometheus. I like Covenant. I'd like to see him explore. See, and the thing is, it wasn't about the xenomorphs. The mystery of Alien to me is not about the xenomorph. The mystery of Aliens is why does humanity? Why did these people want to know so much about them? Who are the engineers? Where did this all come from? And that's why I love Prometheus, because it dealt with that, man. And
that shit is so good, man.
That's ancient alien shit, and I love it.
When I didn't read it, so you would know more than me, Robbie. But that original screenplay that just came out, it reminds me, like when I was flipping through it and I see like it looks different, but it looks similar as hell to Prometheus. Like that's like kind of what the original idea was, like more, where they find like they're stumbling upon engineers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't read it, so I don't know for sure. I kind of just flipped through it because I'm waiting on my shop to get my copy, but they stumble upon this planet and then they find a ship that has, that big alien or whatever in a suit. Well,
isn't that in Alien? Don't they find the
original Alien? You see the dead engineer.
Yeah.
And they see the eggs.
Well,
they reference it, but they don't really. You don't see if you can't tell if it's a costume. You really can't tell a lot what's going on with it. Obviously, they shed a lot more light on it in the prequels because they kind of gloss over it in the subsequent films. They focus on the aliens and the alien queen and et cetera, and it becomes an action film franchise.
But one of the big threads throughout those, especially the first 2 even, but even like really in particular in the first one is they want, like the reason why they were sent there is because they want to know, not just for curiosity's sake, they want to know about the xenomorphs for a very specific reason, and it's like they already knew. I mean, obviously we find that out in Prometheus that they already know. In fact, they're kind of making this happen, and they already knew the engineers came to Earth and this and that. And I think that shit's fantastic, man. That's just
I think it's cool, and I think Ridley Scott's got some cool ideas to build on that. But that's the problem is that I think the studios, at least Fox, I mean, you're right, was like, we want a traditional alien movie, and he wants to do more of the engineer and that stuff. So we'll see what happens now that Disney's got the property. And now that the alien queen is a Disney queen, Disney princess.
We'll probably just do an Avengers movie with them.
Shit. The crazy thing is, okay, so Alien is a horror film and considered by horror fans one of the greatest horror films ever.
Yes.
I think most people like Aliens better.
Yeah, the action film.
Because they like the action film.
Yeah.
I think Ridley Scott with the prequels wanted to make sci-fi films. He wanted to do science fiction. Yeah. But apparently you can't do Alien as a science fiction film. And I just think that's shit, man, because why not, man? I mean, sci-fi horror, obviously, sci-fi action, but come on, man. I don't know. I think that's a big difference.
Also proves that
Alien is not a science fiction franchise, if you really think about it. Mostly people want an action film out of it.
It's like, I guess it's like a sci-fi horror. Growing up, I never really looked at it as a horror. I just kind of looked at it
film.
Like a science fiction. But yeah, I know.
The thing is a horror film. It's just it's sci-fi, but it's a horror film, and it's the same thing with Alien.
Yeah.
Wait, let's be honest. A lot of horror films can also be classified as sci-fi horror. Yeah. Even shit like the Universal monsters. John just said The Thing, but like Frankenstein, Dracula, The Fly, The Invisible Man. Even some of those classic films, those are sci-fi horror if you really think about it. Creature from the Black Lagoon, that starts with a science lesson. That movie, Imagine if they made that today. Everybody'd be like, they're talking about evolution. Remember, he was the missing link, right?
Yeah, I hope we get it. I hope Ridley Scott gets to dive back into the Alien and do what he planned, because I think he's got some crazy shit up his sleeve that we didn't really get to touch on after Prometheus. I think he was just getting started.
I kind of wish Dark Horse still had the rights, because that they would do that, like Ridley's vision of what would come next. Marvel, they're just gonna throw them into a fucking Avengers or an X-Men book as soon as they can.
100%.
They've not already.
Well, they haven't been able to. They haven't published their first works yet.
Well, Marvel already has The Brood, which is kind of their Alien stand-in.
Yeah.
They don't really need the aliens in this.
Yeah, but they'll do it. Like, here's the thing. Like with Star Wars, I really was expecting a crossover soon, but they've maintained. Maybe that's part of the deal. Like, you do Star Wars books, but you keep them in their own. And all
Star Wars books are ass.
All the Marvel Star Wars books are canon, by the way, officially right now, right?
They'll change it.
When they brought in Conan, they fucking immediately threw his ass into the Marvel universe. Yeah. So I know they're going to do that with Predator and Alien. 100%.
That's exactly when I bounced too. As soon as they
who owns Predator though? Which film company is that?
Which one?
Yeah, I don't think that's Fox.
Who?
What are you talking about?
Predator.
Oh, Fox. Yeah, Fox.
Fox got bought by Disney though, and so now the comic book publishing rights to Alien and Predator have been at Dark Horse since the early 90s. They have been released now to Marvel. So Marvel.
I'm saying, who owns the Predator? I don't know if the Predator's owned by Fox though. Who owns Predator?
It is Fox.
Oh, it is Fox. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why the last Predator was the last Predator movie made by Fox.
Oh God, it was so bad.
So bad.
I never even saw it.
I haven't seen any Predator movie except for the first two.
Dude, I was so excited by the new one because of the director and the cast, and the movie was shit.
Black?
You've seen AVP though, right?
It was, I think it was PG-13. It has okay elements, but then there are some really stupid things that I just shake my head at, like, so bad.
It was so bad, dude.
This kid that has, like...
Is that a Shane Black movie?
Yeah, that's the one. That's why, like, a lot of people...
He made a bad movie?
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
I find that difficult to believe.
That's why people are so mad about it. Because they're like, he was in the original Predator, and they're like, oh, my God, we might finally get a good Predator movie for once, and... He really shit the bed on.
Was the Robert Rodriguez one not good? With Adrian
that was good. That
was okay. Good. That wasn't bad by any. That wasn't bad. This new one was just
the worst.
Great director, just shit film. I don't know what happened.
The worst part about the Robert Rodriguez one is the Adrian Brody character, because it's like they're trying to like redo, like they even throw him in the mud and cover him in mud like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, dude, Adrian Brody is not fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, get the hell out of here. Not at all. Every time I watch it, I just cannot get into him as like a character in that movie or like a mercenary or anything. That is the worst part of the movie. If they got somebody better to play that character, especially if you're going to try and redo the freaking, covered in mud and killing a predator like Arnold did, you better get somebody like the damn Rock to try to, throw off, that the scent of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, every time I see that dude play that character, I'm like, God, it's a good movie. It's this, besides the first two, that's the best, I think, Predator movie we've come across besides the first Alien versus Predator, which I know people hate that, but I like those. I like that.
I don't like the Alien versus Predators, but I thought Predators was actually pretty decent. You're right.
Yeah.
And others, I would have cast somebody else. I actually like Adrian Brody, but I would have cast somebody else in the role.
I like
on there with The Rock. Imagine The Rock and Michael B. Jordan in a goddamn Predator movie.
Oh, dude.
That's how you get your Arnold and Carl Weathers dynamic back. You know what I'm saying?
You and no one like Alien versus Predator, though? The first one, at least?
I've never seen the AVP movies.
Really?
I've never.
The first one is more like the comic books.
I think the first one was playing at some party one time, but I was getting shitty. Like, I don't even remember that.
Weird stretch.
It's weird. The first one's PG-13. The second one is rated R, but the rated R one is worse than the PG-13 one.
It's the worst film, but it's more graphic. I feel the same way about the Alien versus Predator films as Ridley Scott feels about them.
That's a weird stretch.
Predator
2
he does not. He despises those films. Yeah. I despise those films too.
Predator 2 is the sweatiest movie I've ever seen.
They should have just introduced Stallone as Rambo into the Predator movies. That's what we all wanted.
Bruh. I will totally allow
a Rambo
if they did a Rambo versus Predator. I'll tell you this, though. The Predator franchise has never been as intriguing to me as Alien. Like, I love Alien. I love Aliens. I love Alien 3. I love Alien 3. I love all three of those films. Alien Resurrection can suck a giant-ass dick. But
I thought you loved The Newborn.
I hate that damn movie. God,
it's not that bad.
What, bro? Watch it. I dare you.
Maybe I need to rewatch it.
As hell, though.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, I remember it not being great, but was it that bad? I can't remember.
Pretty bad.
It's got.
I really think. Yeah, Alien 3 is okay, but the highlight of the series is the first one and the second one. To be honest with you.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
It's the worst Alien movie, hands down.
Resurrection.
Okay. Yeah. Resurrection is the worst Alien movie.
Is it worse than
I don't think it's a horrible movie. It has some fun stuff too.
Bruh, come on. I bet
you like Halloween Resurrection.
I bet you like the basketball scene, don't you, Brooks? Yeah, you're the kind of guy that would. I hate that. I hate that movie. The one thing I do like is when they have to go underwater for a moment to get through the station, and the aliens are in the water. That's a tense scene that I like.
Oh yeah,
aside from that, movie's so dumb. I was like, how do you make an alien movie with Winona Ryder, written by Joss Whedon, that I despise?
Right? It's got all the
and everybody puts their hate on Alien 3. All the time I hear people bitching about Alien 3. And I'm like, Alien Resurrection exists. Can you throw the wrath on that and give Alien 3 a break? Because I actually think Alien 3 is a good movie. People just didn't like how it kind of went back to the horror aspect of
Alien 3 is like a different kind of alien movie, really.
And the alien is badass, dude. He is so scary. He's the scariest looking alien to me in those films. Those first four. I mean, and the baby human alien hybrid in Resurrection does kind of look creepy, but in a very doofy way as well. And it's just, it does not pay off for me. God,
didn't they retcon one of those movies?
The Ripley clone is terrible. She was like, what is that? She's got alien queen DNA spliced into her. That means that she can play basketball. Really dope.
She got acid blood.
Oh, hey, Robbie, I think Mike was asking you a question about some Power Rangers figures.
You need to grab one for me, Mike. I don't know about Strickland.
Sure.
I need a Rita in my life.
Lord Zed figure?
I already have a Lord Zed, but the only way to get Rita's in this 2-pack with Zed.
I've been getting so many NECA figures, man. I wish I could have got some of those Rangers.
I'm glad that I've been able to get all of them so far.
So lucky.
Not lucky. I just work at a comic shop and I do pre-orders when the time is right.
Which stretch?
You don't have to lean that close to the mic, Strickland.
I need to emphasize the stretch.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait for those 2 figures. I was telling you about the ghost face and that Jason, though.
Bro,
electric.
I think I'm getting that ghost face that comes with the glow-in-the-dark face.
There's that. You
dope
see
as
the
hell.
2. There's you got to get the ultimate one. The other one is like a cloth figure, which
Yeah.
I usually don't like those.
We're
There's
getting
that
both of them, so
ultimate
either
one.
one you want. Even if you want both, we got it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm debating on it because Ghostface is like, he's so hard to get, man. Like, they never make figures like him. I remember the McFarlane ones still are like rare as hell.
that-
They look stupid
have you
as
seen
hell.
that, John? The ghost face figure yet?
I have not.
You're strict. John, Hammer Time. Did you see that?
I have not.
Dude, he's got multiple faces.
Dude, that
And
new
Like the
blood
guy
figure-
from
Yeah.
like the guy from Masters Universe, Many Faces.
You know Many Faces is one of my favorites. Actually, you may not know that, but
They
that
should have
was-
put the scary movie one on there with the tongue hanging out, like what's up?
That should have been
should've.
one of them. They should have done that.
All right. You see that, John?
That was some Inception stuff, dude.
That's the one. Dude,
Look at that,
it's
John.
so-
This
The
one right
cloth,
here is
the cloth robe or whatever really helps it out.
yeah.
this
Dude,
face
and
right here.
those old ones, like the top half was rubber and then the bottom half was cloth, and it looks so noticeable, bro. Like it was so dumb.
This one looks really good.
Yeah, he never had a scythe. What the fuck was that?
Yes, he did.
When?
In one of the movies, because he has the weapon in all the movies. You see that?
I know, but what? I don't remember that scene.
Well,
What the
I'll
heck?
look it up in a moment, but I just want to point out this green face right here is the glow-in-the-dark face. How fucking dope is that?
I thought you were like a scream
Spider one?
expert.
Hey, I might use that scythe for my Michael Myers figure and
Wow, that's
recreate
some
the
Inception
Halloween 4 scene. Or wait, no, that's Halloween 5, I think. When he kills that girl with the scythe in the barn.
Dude,
Yeah,
spoiler.
he has a scythe. Is that which one is?
I can't remember, and I'm a huge. I gotta see which one that is.
Looking it up.
The girl in the barn.
That's Halloween. I'm trying to think of the Ghostface one.
Yeah, there is a ghost face. I mean, because why else would they give him a scythe?
I
I
know
don't
that's
remember him.
the one.
Because
I
it's
don't remember him
badass.
using one, to be honest with you, but I might be misremembering.
You know what I think that's from? I almost want to say that's from the freaking TV series.
I watched the series. I don't remember that either.
That's not his mask in the series.
I know it's not, but he has like a scythe.
Yeah, I'm not finding any images of Ghostface with the scythe, but I don't think it fucking matters. It's going to be badass. He should. Maybe he uses it in Scream 5.
It's not canon. I don't want
They're
it.
spoiling it already.
Well, he didn't have a glow-in-the-dark face either.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's just cool. Like any toy that glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Well, then, if you're just putting stuff in there you want to give him a fucking bazooka or something, I guess.
Well, yeah,
Give him He-Man sword.
I'm
Give
pretty
him
sure
a
the scythe.
Rambo knife.
There's got to be
Looking past
one
the power
scene
sword for some
somewhere.
reason.
There's got to be one scene somewhere.
See, look here. I'm gonna share it to you,
Yeah,
right?
he's really like upset that he can't find this.
See, but this
Dylan,
is
find it?
Oh, so
It
that's
says-
from the.
You say it's
Okay.
either a new killer with scythe, but that they didn't have the rights to the Ghostface mask at the time. So
Yeah,
I
which is
don't
weird
know.
because you can used to be able to buy that at any drugstore. But dude, I'll be honest, I haven't seen this show. I hear it's decent, but like that mask is creepy as fuck, dude.
It's a
Yeah.
good show. It's really like it's kind of like it's like the first Scream movie where they got somebody like they do a lot of those same tropes. So it's not as good as the movies, but it's they pull the same tropes and it's fun. I think Wes Craven actually did produce them, so that was actually some of the last things that show was actually I think the last thing he worked on.
So regardless of the side thing, it's still a cool figure.
Dude, that New Blood figure is so dope. That's probably my favorite Jason.
Yeah,
That's ever made.
What?
you saw that?
The New
Con?
Blood figure?
They're doing a New Blood Jason figure. It looks like every other Jason figure.
That's my favorite Jason too, man. Pound it, Dylan.
Oh, I thought your favorite Jason was Jason X.
Dude, no,
my favorite is New Blood, man.
I gotta share this with John because
Jason X is my favorite. I love Jason X.
Dude, I love that showdown, man, between him and the you know.
There you go, John.
Oh my God! It's even got this interchangeable head. You can see all his ribs.
Yes.
Dude, it has the freaking edge trimmer thing.
Yep.
I want the back to be able to see his spine through it, just like in the movie.
I bet you can.
Dude, each Jason figure is done like uniquely different, man. That I have all of them except for the Freddy versus Jason one and the remake. Because literally, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna just get one, but each one is so different. Because in each movie, he's different. He looks different in each movie. So.
Well, I liked when it was canon. He was more and more decayed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what.
The ones that are canon.
I got the Jason Lives figure, and that's my favorite. But once they
I have the Lives figure, and then I have the new final chapter.
I thought you said New God.
Okay, I think you have the final chapter
where you could stick the knife through his head. That's the final chapter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got two of them.
Yeah.
But New Blood's my favorite version. He's the most zombified, and he takes off his mask and everything. It's terrifying, man.
I love that. When I saw that, I was like, this is going to be my favorite Jason. I hope they do Jason Goes to Hell and then Jason X. I want to have all those.
God,
I could do without those.
No, I could do without the Jason Goes to Hell, but I need Jason X. I need Jason X. I love
the best, dude.
I don't care what no one says. Jason X is fucking awesome, bro.
I don't like Jason X's mask.
I like
the futuristic mask, or like
no, the one he has at the beginning of the movie. It's not the same.
It's kind of more like Jason Goes to Hell, but he's kind of got like fuzzies around him. You notice, like I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of that mask. I do like parts of that movie, but we won't get into that. I still like those movies better than the remake.
That's
the remake was trash, bro.
What? The remake is
I don't think the remake's that bad.
The remake is good, man.
I'm not the biggest
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Friday the 13th in general, right? But I am pumped for that Blu-ray set. But I think that the remake did a good job of kind of combining the first three movies in a way, because that's kind of what it did.
I didn't like that it did that. I felt.
Yeah,
I mean, I do understand though. If you just remade the first one and didn't get people Jason, they'd be pissed off.
It's got Sam in it,
bro.
Yeah, I know.
For real. And that the guy who plays Jason, like he devoted so much to that character because he was like Kane Hodder, where he was like, I love Jason. He was trying to bring everything he could to it. And man, I'm telling you, you see that dude charging at you, you'd shit your fucking pants, bro. Like he was menacing as hell. Like remember when he's like looking, he finds the weed and then he charges at him. Like, bro, you'd have been so scared, man. It's not the dumb parts like your tits are stupendous, but that was meant to be funny. I watched a lot of behind the scenes.
It's self-referential. It's self-referencing.
They were trying to do some tropes and kind of make it like a Jason Lives, where it actually has some comedic things to it. Because a lot of them are, before Jason Lives, it was actually kind of they were more serious in a way, like where it was just the kills and everything. But Jason Lives made it more self-aware and like they actually were aware of horror movies and stuff.
Jason Lives is one of my favorites, to be
honest.
Mine
too. It's so much fun to watch. That's why I like the figure.
Because Jason had one of the best lines where he's like, "What did you want to be when you grew up?" Remember, because they knew they were going to die.
Yeah.
Well, that's when he gets the chain around his throat and that iconic zombified look, and he becomes even more supernatural. Because honestly, he's already a supernatural character.
Yeah.
That leads me to some things. One thing I want to do this Halloween is play through and finally defeat the NES Friday the 13th game. Who's with me?
Good effing luck, man.
I've watched a ton of YouTube videos about how to do it.
Oh, okay.
Brooks would be your man on that one.
I know Brooks is down. John, are you down? I want everybody to come over. We'll have a night. We'll get some beers, and we'll play some Friday the 13th on NES, and we'll fucking beat it. God damn it.
I'm down for that. I would do that.
Are you going to get that Scream Factory box set they announced?
I want
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So
I want
bad.
it.
It's on pre-order right now.
I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and you can think about it at least. You know, because you don't have to pay for it until it ships. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I need to go ahead and get that order in there.
Screen Factory is going to charge you they charge you the 150 on the spot, but
And
you
Amazon
don't.
already has it for like 130, right?
Yeah, you just don't get the poster. And
Yeah,
it's
who
like,
gives a shit?
I
exactly.
didn't really care for that poster, to be honest.
Bro, the poster.
The poster is the same thing as the box, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't hang that on my wall. Anyway,
you know what I'm saying? And $20 for that poster, like, come on.
yeah.
I literally say
Pre-order
that.
that shit. I'm doing it right now. You guys continue talking. I'm
That's what I do.
I'm doing it too.
Bro, I'm gonna do it too. We're all doing it.
Yo, then we can all.
Brooks is like, what's Amazon?
Then we can all watch them together. Then we can all watch them and talk about it.
Yeah, it's 132 right now is on the pre-order. Released on October 13th, which I do believe.
And if it goes down, you'll get to. If it ever sometimes prices drop up and down,
and
Amazon,
you get the refund. Yeah.
you'll get the lowest price that it goes down to when you pre-order.
Yeah,
it.
and you get the refund. Yeah.
Dude, I just found the
Done.
Season of the Witch 3-pack NECA. Dude, it was
Fable just
70% off. Dude, that box set is so dope, man.
Yeah.
And
it's rare for them to do a complete collection like that because of the way the rights went.
They're saying the original Scream Factory. It was just
John's already got this shit on Blu-ray and he's buying it. Look at him.
Yeah. Hey, well, they remastered the first 4, their 4K transfers, and they're redoing the 3D for part 3.
For 3D, I'm excited about because I have a 3D projector, so I'm excited to watch that in 3D and actually see 3D.
We gotta
You'll
watch
be
it.
able to.
Yeah, dude, we watched Creature from the Black Lagoon in 3D on John's projector, Dylan, and it was fucking awesome, wasn't it, John?
Really?
Yeah.
It looked like a block of water in front of us, man. It was
I just
crazy.
found out the other day that
Robbie almost drowned though.
I did.
I had to give mouth to mouth.
It was Cheetos though. I almost drowned in Cheetos.
I just found out literally the other day that was one of the first 3D movies
First.
that I didn't, not one of the first, but it was one of the first
Jaws.
2 black and white movies. I never knew that was a black and white or a 3D movie.
Yeah, I think it
I
was.
didn't either, to be honest with you, until Robbie had the box set and he's like, I got the 3D version. I'm like, I got a 3D projector, and they've redone the 3D so that it's it takes advantage of the what I'm saying, you don't need the stereoglyphic or whatever you call it. You don't need the stupid red blue. So the 3D, yeah. I don't watch enough 3D to be honest with you. I want to start watching. It definitely slowed down. The excitement for the 3D movies kind of dwindled off. So it's hard to justify. But there's a couple movies in my collection that I love that I want to go back and pick up on 3D. Like Tron Legacy, I don't have in 3D. How the hell do I not have that in 3D?
Dude, I got Lion King in 3D. Let's do it. I also have Green Lantern.
I have Captain America in 3D.
Yeah, but that's this is the problem with 3D was that you had all these post conversions, but Green Lantern was made for 3D. Movies that are made for 3D, and wasn't Tron Legacy made for 3D, John?
Yeah.
Movies that are made for it, even that shitty Journey to the Center of the Earth movie with Brendan Fraser. I shouldn't call it shitty because I actually like it, but movies that are made for 3D are better than movies that are just converted to 3D.
Yeah.
And
Talking about
all those MCU
Ryan
things.
Reynolds, Green Lantern.
Ryan Reynolds.
There are some
Green
decent
Lantern was made
conversions.
for 3D, yeah.
Yeah.
watch
I
this
forgot
shit
I
movie.
have
Well, I
Jurassic Park on 3D converted, and it
Nice.
looks great.
Some of them look fine. I even remember watching Phantom Menace. Remember they were going to do all those in 3D. I thought Phantom Menace looked fine in 3D. No matter what you think about Green Lantern, the movie, and the script's terrible, but the 3D looks amazing. When they're flying, in space, it looks so fucking good, dude.
Leonardo and Mark Strong, all that's dope.
Oh, Sinestro so good. I'll defend that. One of the best on-screen villains.
Yeah, just bring him back for Sinestro.
He looks so on point. Did you see that they said that even Ryan Reynolds tweeted that he's heard that he actually might be in the Zack Snyder cut as a Green
I don't know if I believe that.
Bruh.
That would be neat, though.
It'd be like a big old meme, especially after him poking jab at it in Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
It's a shitty movie.
it is.
They totally got the character wrong, kind of, but it was just the plot of the movie was really.
He just kind of looks like the part, but it's just you can't do it all CG, you know.
There's literally a moment in that movie where he's on Earth and Parallax is attacking, and he flies to Oa to ask for permission to save Earth. They say no, so he flies back to Earth to
Save
defeat
Earth.
Parallax. And I'm like, couldn't there have been a quicker way to do that? Like maybe just talking through the ring.
FaceTime.
But they're like, this movie's gonna be in 3D. What's crazy is Green Lantern's the same director as it's Joe Johnston, the same director as the first Captain America film. Way different.
Wow.
Right? Just Joe Johnston. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably not.
No, he directed Captain America, but I didn't know that about Green Lantern. I don't know about that.
Oh, let me see now. I'm doubting myself.
Weird stretch.
Oh yeah, it was Martin Campbell. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill?
Martin Campbell.
Boy, yeah.
You said Mark Hamill, dude. Nice try.
Wow, so Mark Strong has played Sinestro and Dr. whatever. Iva or whatever.
He's generally the bad guy for everything. He's
Yeah.
a good bad. He was the bad guy in Sherlock Holmes. He's a good bad guy.
He's the bad guy in Robin Hood. The Ridley Scott Robin Hood. He's the
Yeah.
bad
He's
guy.
also a good guy in the Kingsman movies.
Yeah.
And he's the bad guy in
Hey,
Rock and Roll. Rock and Roller.
He's
How
the bad
Oh,
guy
he's great in
in,
Rock and Roller, man. What a
Power
great
Rangers.
movie.
He's Ivan Ooze.
He's
How
not even
embarrassing.
really not.
you notice how embarrassed you think Ryan and his wife are that the one movie they're in together is like the worst movie
Yeah, right.
they've ever done.
Well, that
I
thing's
always
awkward
forget that,
because
that
he was
Blake
like,
Lively, that's his wife.
well, he was like married to someone else in that movie, and
Was
he was
he?
having an affair with Blake Lively. Yeah, that
Dude,
was like
Isn't
it's,
that
like,
always the story with these things?
Always happens.
it's pretty sad when you think about it.
It's
Actually,
like, Brad Pitt and Jennifer, or damn, I can't think of her name.
Ben Affleck.
Angelina. He was dating Jennifer Aniston though on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then they did that movie together, and they hooked up, and then he bounced on Jennifer Aniston.
Hey, it looks like Strickland's getting sleepy.
Oh, wee baby.
Wee baby. He was off today. He's off tomorrow, but he's sleepy.
Y'all good?
Did you buy that Star Trek? I mean, that Star Wars print?
Yeah,
Bruh.
I got a bundle.
Oh, shit. There's a big bug right there. Give me a second.
I wish we could replay that. That was hilarious.
I just wish we could watch, like, we could just move his camera over a little bit. I've seen John deal with bugs, and it's funny. Do you see how it startled him? 239, everybody. 238, 239. John gets. I'm going to write that down so I can look at it again. 238. Okay. Yeah, I got my Friday the 13th ordered. Since Dylan reminded me that they don't charge you until it ships. I'm like, oh, he's right.
Like, it ships early and
That
charges.
literally
you
just happened to me because I pre-ordered something like a month ago and it just shipped. And my show and tell. Speaking of show and tell, it's about time to get ramped up. So everybody start getting ready. If you have any final questions out there you want us to address, let us know right now. Chat.
Yeah, I'm glad I told you. So I've been debating on it. Like, that's why I was like searching everywhere to be like, is Scream Factory going to charge me? It's like, I'm not getting charged $150 and, you know, I'm going to have to wait 5 months for it.
Because I initially thought I had to get that. And that was only limited to like 100 and like 1,300 or something like that.
That's what it is with the poster. It's only like super limited with the poster. And it's like, who really cares about that, you know?
Yeah, I really don't. There's like a lithograph that's cool, but who cares?
Yeah. They're cool, but
my favorite thing is that me, Strickland, Hammer Time, and Fable pre-ordered the damn Friday the 13th set. Brooks didn't. You know why? Brooks is sitting here going, well, if these three fools fucking have it, I'll just get it from them.
It's like I'll just be like, hey man, I feel like watching some Friday the 13th, man. I know you got that box set.
dude, I hope, man, I'm really hoping we get a Michael Myers one, because that's why I was like, I'm gonna get that, and I'm praying they redo the Michael Myers box set. Like once the sequel, the 2 sequels come out, they could redo it and have all those together, you know. And
that could be cool. I do have the set already that they did. It's not like an elaborate set, but it has all the movies, including the.
Is it the black one? Is it the black set, or is it like the little? Is it the one with the black set? Is where they're single cases, or
they're not single. I'll go grab it real quick because Perry
box set and they're
Perry's in the house. What's up, Perry? With the super sticker. I can't see the super sticker. I'll look at it later. But thank you so much, everybody. You know what that means. Thank you, Barry. We appreciate it. This is the one I have right here.
Yeah, that's even hard to find too now.
And they're in 2 different cases.
Yeah,
but they're all there. This is the shitty part of the set. I really like H2O, but this has got Curse and Resurrection and the Rob Zombie ones.
I don't care what no one says. Curse is fucking awesome, bro.
Curse is awesome, but it is a bad movie, Dylan. We can say that, right? We can say that. We can say that we like it, but it's bad.
Yeah, it has dumb things in it, but I still I love watching Paul Rudd beat the shit out of Michael Myers.
Just don't watch the producer's cut.
Oh God, don't watch the producer.
I have both of them.
Yeah.
I think both of them are on this.
Dude, Resurrection and H2O are like super hard to get because Miramax doesn't produce them anymore.
Actually, I don't think this has the producer's cut on it anymore, but
No, you bought it separate.
I bought it separate, but I think I got rid of it because I never
it was so
wanted
bad.
$5.
Yeah.
It's like $5 for the producer's cut.
Right,
It's not good.
We
Don't
thought
watch it.
me and John watched it and we thought that it would like be more graphic and all that. No, they take all the gore out. Like I don't even like what? Like, and this was fabled. Remember Hammer Time? Like this fabled Curse of Michael Myers producer's cut that was out there that was supposed to improve the movie and all that shit. Fuck that. That shit.
Robbie and I decided that if any of us watch that movie again, we had a suicide pact. We'd kill each other.
Oh God.
Producer's cut was so bad. The producer's cut was so bad. Ugh.
Perry says, yo, Dylan, haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing good, man. Yo, Avengers game is dope, and I've actually seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We should have Perry on the show tonight.
I know.
Perry, after Horror Fest, let's do Dazed and Confused. If you're down with that, I'm down, but we got to do it after Horror Fest. Because Horror Fest starts, y'all ready for this? September 11th. Friday night, Horror Fest starts officially, and the first film is Cry, Little Sister. It's Near Dark. No, it's Lost
Wait a
Boys.
minute.
I didn't see that on the list.
It's Lost Boys. Near Dark is on the list. Near Dark is on the list.
I know
but
Near Dark. I didn't see Lost Boys.
Lost Boys is the first one we're doing.
Oh, okay.
September 11th, Lost Boys, and Mummy Monday, which is a live watch through with me of all the Universal Classic Monster Mummy movies from the 30s and 40s. Starts September 21st, I believe. That's when we start 6 weeks of Mummy Monday. That's going to be me watching the movie, and it's kind of like a commentary, in a way, if you will, of all the Mummy movies. Not the Stephen Sommers ones, and not the Tom Cruise one, but, you know. But hell yeah, man. Getting that X-Men versus Street Fighter, I changed my pre-order to the Marvel versus Capcom one. It comes with the stool and light-up marquee. Yeah, I am more inclined to get the Marvel versus Capcom one. Haven't put in a pre-order. $500 is pretty fucking steep, especially when you're building a new set. But we've been getting donations, so that seems like that's going to happen, and I would love to add an arcade machine to it. So I'm kind of juggling the idea right now. John, here's a question I want to ask you. If you mod an arcade one cabinet, does that undo what's already there?
Yes, but you can add those games to it in additional games. So
for instance, Marvel vs. Capcom has Wi-Fi capability. You would wipe that out by modding that, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to know.
Yeah, I would pay extra for that feature because some of those games have been modified to allow online play. Some third parties have done that. It's kind of a pain, and you know, I don't know how good those games are going to play over Wi-Fi in the first place. Are you really going to play people online?
I would play Jim Mint because I want to school his ass in some Street Fighter. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
He talks a lot
so
of shit.
if that's something, if you're going to modify it, then
he talks more shit about Mortal Kombat, but he would totally probably kick my ass because anybody that's moderately good at Mortal Kombat can kick my ass in it. But Street Fighter's my jam. That's why I'm ready to tear some ass in Street Fighter. Man, I haven't been able to go to
5, man. That's my cup of tea. I'm ready to play Street Fighter 5.
What was that? The one on PS3 or was that 4?
It's on the PS4 and the PC.
Yeah, I had the PS3 one. I guess that was 4 then. That was still fun.
That was Street Fighter 4.
But the moves are all the fucking same.
They're very similar. They're just different, obviously different characters. Some of the different super moves.
Is Ryu still there?
Yes.
Then I'll kick your ass.
Okay, I'll be okay. All right, let's do it.
Bro, but I want you to get some classics on your arcade machine, man.
I'll put some classics, but I got that big wide screen, so I like to take advantage of a lot of the modern fighters and stuff that take advantage. I've been playing new Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur's good, like the first one?
The new one.
See, John, this is what you got to realize about me. If you want to play video games with me, it's got to be like pre-2000.
The old school Caliburs are the best.
I can put some old school stuff on there, but I got that big. I mean, my arcade's got a 40-inch screen, so I want to take advantage of those.
This man wants shitty graphics or nothing.
Oh, fuck you. Those graphics are great.
Dude, I was going to tell you, somebody figured out how to put the double screen X-Men on a regular widescreen arcade. Remember X-Men had the two screens, the 2D scroller or whatever? Did we beat that in the arcade?
Yeah, we did. That took some money.
Yeah, they modified it so that it stretches across one big monitor. It looks great.
There were two versions, right? Because the one that we played was a regular one. That was more. Yeah,
and then there's one that's the super double monitor that's super rare.
I remember that one, man. That was the one that was at timeout at Madison Square 12 or the Madison Square Mall. Brooks, by the way, speaking of old school games, I haven't forgotten. I have your Super NES games. It's the Zelda one I was telling you about. And it's Castlevania 3, I believe, is the other one. Or Super Castlevania, whatever the
Castlevania 4.
That's the one then. It's whatever that one was. So those are the ones that I found that I'll be giving back to you. Cool. I've been wanting to get a classic console, and I was thinking I don't really want an SNES or a Nintendo right now because I have access to all that stuff with my emulators. But Nintendo 64, man, and they've gone up.
Nintendo
John, you remember
64.
Yeah, dude. Because I want to get some of those games back, like GoldenEye, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey, Mario 64, obviously, Donkey Kong 64. You remember, John, when I bought that? It was just a random on the whim. John was there when I bought my first 64. It was an on the whim thing, like in 1999. We went to Walmart at like 2 a.m, and I bought the green one, the jungle green.
With Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
that's
I remember that.
the fucking one now, man.
Dude.
Because I was looking at the consoles to buy, and they're like for like 120 to 150, you can get an N64. But if you want that green one, it's like $100 more.
Jeez.
And I'm thinking about doing it.
I think 64 was my
I was
first.
going to ask for it for Christmas. What'd you say, Dylan?
I think the Nintendo 64 was my first system ever.
Damn. Mine
You're
was
youngin'.
Atari 2600.
Before that, I played all the games. Like, I played Tomb Raider and Sonic and shit on the computer. But, dude. That
Yeah,
game,
my first was the Oregon Trail.
Really?
I'll tell you
I didn't
what.
know if anyone was going to get the reference.
Go,
You died? Was
That
it
dysentery.
dysentery? Yeah, I was going to say.
All right. It is time for show and tell. Let's get this show on the road. Strickland, you're up first. Let's go. I hit the wrong button again.
I got the Spider-Man animated series retro line on card. I got the first wave this week, and they're pretty sick.
You tell me you didn't get a dragon that takes you 20 minutes to put together and get it on the stand?
I did not. You got Electro.
Damn it, Strickland.
Damn, I'm hitting all of the wrong buttons.
You got regular Peter Parker.
Look at those glasses.
With those
Yeah, what the
dorky-ass
fuck with
dunks.
those glasses?
Old school Peter Parker. Like Steve Ditko Peter Parker.
Yeah, no shit. Look at that.
Yeah.
thing go.
I like he's got the interchangeable heads.
Yeah, those are cool.
So are these reissues, or are these you found some older ones?
No, these are new.
Oh, okay.
They're new figures, but they have the old school packaging.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look just like the old school.
They just came out.
Oh, nice. I love that costume actually.
Me
Yeah,
too.
it's clean.
I told everybody the show and tell was going to be
Glenn.
it. My favorite thing about
Oh,
that, hold
What
that
the
back
hell? It's the same one character, but they just give you two different characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, John, that's what I was about to say. I love that they just gave a Mary Jane head, but I'm like, but why is she wearing Gwen's clothes? That's kind of kinky, right, Peter?
You're like,
That's
dude,
so bizarre.
you're like,
That's
they're both
so
white.
weird.
We'll just do it. We'll save some money.
Very nice, Strickland.
Yeah, man. That's all I got.
Jill,
Those are pretty
Brooks,
awesome.
Brooks, do you want any of those? I think we only have a couple left, and we were shorted some of our stuff, but we may have more coming in. So if there's any you want, Brooks, just let me know.
Or just reach below you, Brooks, and take them from
That's right.
Strickland.
Me personally,
They're doing a Kingpin, too.
yeah, they're doing that Kingpin. Me personally, I have a Green Goblin and a Daredevil held back for me. But that Peter Parker's too doofy for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, you're a
Don't
pretty
make-
doofy
don't-
guy. He
don't
looks
give
just like
him-
you.
Don't give him the 60s glasses if it's like trying to be a modern Peter Parker. I'm just saying.
They never wore the glasses in the animated series. He
You're
was always
right.
cool adult Peter Parker.
You're right, man. 100%. Dylan, it's like 1 o'clock where you are. Damn, man. You a PCP soldier, man. Show and tell, you're up.
Hey, you see behind me though? I got for Horror Fest. I got.
Oh, look at that.
a ton
That
of
Pennywise is dope, dude. Both of them.
figures. I got both some more coming too, but
That's
I'm
beautiful.
not even the biggest Pinhead fan, but
Right, Pinhead.
I got it for like
The first one's good.
$20. No, I just like didn't grow up with it. I like him. He's just not my favorite compared to like Michael Myers and Jason. I still like him though, but the figure, man,
Tears,
dope.
please.
That's sharp.
It's a waste of
Okay.
suffering.
Do the arms move or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, dude, he's super articulate.
that's cool.
Don't unlock that puzzle box.
We came.
I know, man. I ain't trying to meet this dude for real.
Explorers.
Put Gwen's head on King Pinhead's body.
Some demons to others. Pinhead's the fucking best, dude.
I got this too.
Ah, damn it.
Nice.
Ah,
I just ordered the.
You got a My Little Buddy doll?
What was it? Yeah.
are they doing a TV show
Yeah, they are doing a TV show.
On Tri-Fi.
with the same like original actor or whatever? The voice.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Dude, you
I
can't.
might have to check that out.
Yeah, I wasn't digging the new movie, but I'm kind of excited for the show. And it seems like they're going with a more serious, darker, kind of going back to the original film. So I'm excited.
This is actually like the Curse of Chucky face. It's not the Bride of Chucky. This is how he looks in the Curse of Chucky.
I actually like Curse. Curse was pretty good.
Too. I do too. I like Colt as well. I mean, it's not like the absolute best, but I like them all, honestly. I like all. I even like.
Really, Bride I think is the weakest because they were too tongue in cheek. You know what I'm saying? But
I'd say Seed of Chucky was.
Yeah, you like that tongue in cheek, don't you?
A weird stretch, Strickland.
But yeah, I think Chucky actually is pretty underrated. He's got probably some of the best. Like all of his movies are good.
Did you watch the remake?
yeah,
Yeah, but I wouldn't count that.
I was just wondering if it was any good. I never saw it.
Oh yeah, it's
okay.
It's
No, I
It's a
wouldn't count that.
concept with his new powers now, with his newfound powers, but it's just I don't know. It's not. I don't know.
It's
Okay.
different. It's not, dude. It's not your.
I wouldn't watch that, man.
It's not that you fucking bitch. He's like, I'll teach you to fuck with me. It's not that. It's more like, hey guys.
Okay. All right.
Didn't Mark Hamill do the voice for the new one? I think he did.
He did.
Yeah, and then
No,
they
that was
add
Johnny Depp.
they add like a kind of like a robotic tone to it. You feel like
Yeah, so
Man,
it sounds like recording.
yeah.
I don't know. I
Kind of like,
was
kind of
really
like the way Hammer Time Whole Shoe sounds right now. Hammer Time, show and tell, you're up.
I haven't bought anything recently, so I feel like I shouldn't participate.
I
just
told
been-
you didn't have
I've
to.
just been working on the arcade machine, man. All my money's been going to arcade parts. I haven't done anything else.
Show off your shirt. You got a cool
So-
Weezer shirt on.
Well, I
I have a
literally,
Weezer shirt.
and I
Here's
was
a
like,
video card I bought for my arcade machine. Here's my awesome Weezer shirt that was a gift. But that's it. I really haven't bought anything lately. I've been buying just arcade parts,
I
which
literally
aren't
told
really
you,
exciting.
I was like, you don't have to buy anything new. Just show off something you have. Nobody's seen your collection.
Yeah, bro. You got comics? Show some
He's
comics.
got some old school NES stuff that would make people drool. Okay, John, that's fine. Should have went to you first. Brooks, show and tell, you're up.
Well, first, I gotta show this boy off. Old Battle Cat.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the new one. It's got some cool points of articulation. You can like move the legs a little bit, but they messed up because if they just put one more point of articulation, like right here, where the paw meets the leg, it would be perfect. But like
That's called an ankle.
as it stands, like
Call the cankle, Brooks.
you can take his helmet off, of course. Have old cowardly cringer. And now he has a jaw. He has jaw articulation, which is pretty cool.
Just so you know, they did announce a Panther.
Oh, they
Is
did?
that like a glow in the dark He-Man?
Yeah, it's a glowing He-Man.
No, it's the albino. It's albino He-Man.
Don't get too impressed, Dylan. I have the same figure.
Dude, I had like three of those cat. Damn it, I can't. The battle cats like growing up, and they all got ruined. We gutted my house. I found. Yeah.
It's awesome.
What's on its head?
This one was from the. I think it's from the Norton movie.
Oh really?
Like, he pulled his leg together.
That's
It's
detail.
actually pretty badass.
Yeah, and he has like he does sounds too. His batteries are dead, I think now. Yeah, you can see his
Really?
eyes. He says like Hulk smash, and his hands go.
That's surprisingly detailed, though.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. Like I actually use him with my I have him with my Legends Avengers just because he just kind of towers over everybody, and I like that.
That's a good looking figure, man.
Yeah,
That's a good looking figure.
placing batteries. And last, I was kind of looking through some stuff to read, and I found my Lord of the Rings collection here.
Look at that.
Oh, top of the morning to the Shire.
It's like an old school
Oh, that's cool.
Dang, that's cool.
from my one of my relatives passed away like years ago, and it was one of the things I kind of inherited from her. But yeah, it's like I haven't even actually cracked these open.
Yeah, one of those are first edition. No, that can't be first edition.
Dude.
Not if it's a set.
Well,
That's
it looks like it's still sealed, first edition.
Yeah, second edition. But still, like,
Hey,
That's
Bill,
pretty
though.
dope.
pretty nice little set. Man. Thinking about like going back through, I haven't read those in a while.
Dude, that was such good books. Such good books. Those are some of the first novels I read. That and like Harry Potter, and then I jumped right into Stephen King.
Yeah, I got
As one should.
that too.
As one always should.
I've never read the Lord of the Rings books. Brooks gave me a trilogy collection years and years ago, and I never read them.
Yeah,
I should do that soon.
You
I read
probably
the
wouldn't
Hobbit.
get it.
I read the Hobbit you gave me though. That was way easier.
Yeah, that's the easiest one. That's
Lord of the
it.
Rings is intimidating me, man. And I'm on the last
It
book of Dark Tower, and that one's intimidating me too. 1,000-page books intimidate me.
yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
I think I only read the Gunslinger Dark Tower book. I think that's the only one I read was the
it's
Gunslinger.
the shortest one.
Hey,
You
I
probably
don't.
shouldn't read Lord of the Rings.
I read more novels growing up, and I was very particular. Like I didn't like really reading. That's why like I went to like Stephen King because it was like I have to read something that I like. I never liked reading those books at school. I'm like, these are so fucking stupid.
Yeah, where the red fern grows. You're like, I don't want to read a story about a dead dog. Come on,
Right.
give me Lord of the Rings.
Spoiler alert.
Well, who doesn't know that? All right, show and tell me I'm up. All right,
Let's see
all
what
this
you
talk
got.
about literature. I just got this in the mail today.
Mm.
By
Oh,
Bernie
nice.
Wrights and Frankenstein. They just put this back in print. So it's
That says
Frankenstein.
Stephen King.
It's got an introduction by Stephen King.
Yeah.
So this is the Frankenstein novel with the accompanying illustrations by Bernie Wrightson.
Didn't you used to have a poster of that?
I had a signed fucking poster and I lost it. But look at that stuff. Oh my goodness. Bernie Wrightson's I've been wanting this forever. Where's my favorite? This is my just look at some of this stuff. Oh, it's beautiful. One of my favorite images is the one that I had the poster of signed.
I shall
Or
be
the-
at your wedding night. One.
Yeah. I'm trying to find where that is.
You got rid of the poster?
I lost it.
Damn.
It was signed and numbered by Bernie Wrights, and I lost it in a moves at some point.
Wow.
Moving from George's house. I wouldn't be surprised if it's still in George's house somewhere.
It might be.
He has a lot of my stuff I left there, like my 18-inch Freddy Krueger and Pinhead.
Wow.
Here it is. It was that one. That's my favorite image. Look at that. Isn't that
That's
beautiful?
so cool.
You see the corpse of the bride on the table there?
Oh man, that's so
He's like-
detailed.
I shall be with you on your wedding night. Oh, Frankenstein's a great novel.
It really is.
Got this today to finish off Wave 5 on the day that they announced Wave 6. So I got my Time Force Red. Super excited for that. We'll be opening that up one day on a Rock and Robbie Live. I am opening this one up right now. I got my Amazon exclusive Omega Ranger from SPD.
Yeah.
So let's open this baby up.
Hey Robbie, you like Part 5, Jason?
Yeah, I really do. I have a pop
Me
of them.
too. Oh, do I? I got the NECA. I'll wait to show
Get
it.
the hell out. Part 5, Jason. Get out of here.
It's not. Well, it's not.
Look at
Jason,
that.
But
Comes with the
Oh,
little
right.
cycle. Look at that.
Like a Segway?
And he's got the Emperor Palpatine thing
He
going
does
on.
have that. You should have him carry that hand in his hand with the thing.
So you should just hold the hand. I'll show that more fully Sunday night. But I got some really cool things. So bear with me, y'all. Y'all ready for this?
Da-na-na-na.
From Masters of the Universe.
Oh, sweet. Does those
Remember
ears
him?
work?
What is this, Roberto? Or what's his name? I don't even remember this character's name. But yeah, the gear, everything still works.
Gearhead,
I've got his parts.
Geartown.
I've got his extra hands right there. Anyway, weird stretch. Here is Cyclone. Got him.
Awesome.
That's a repro sticker that Mike got me, but still, he does the whole. Yeah, look at that.
That's awesome.
He's going to town, man. All right, what else we got here? Brooks is going to like this one. Brooks has this one, so here he knows who it is. I should have pulled these out of the bags. There's Tila.
Nice.
And I just dropped her staff, and I got the book that goes with her.
Yeah, the one I have didn't come with the shield, just the staff.
Oh, I got the staff right there. Yeah, I got mine's complete, Brooks.
Nice staff, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I also have. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Horde. Here's my Modulock I just picked up. All of his different pieces, right there. I'll get that put together soon. Blah blah blah. What else we got? Speaking of the Horde and put together action figures, here's Multibot. Yeah, I should have pulled all these out. Some of his pieces fell, but there's Multibot. 2 figures that you put together and they make one. It's really interesting. Trust me. And finally, this is one of the lamest Motu figures out there, and I don't know how to get this fucking bag open. What the fuck, Mike? There we go. Jesus. I'm being a Dylan and a Strickland tonight.
What do you do? What do you mean a Dylan?
Nice.
Ram Man, he is awesome.
Yeah, I got his axe in there too. I don't have the bracelets though, but got him in his little thing. So yeah, I got some Motu. Got a nice haul there, and very, very excited. Because it took you forever to open that damn Spawn figure that night, Dylan.
Not as long as Jay Strick did for that dragon, though.
You're right, man.
And Dragon.
Here's more pieces for the Multibot. You put them together, and I don't know if anybody remembers him, but I think I have every Horde character now that was in the Motu line. I think I have them all now, to be honest. But yeah, you put them together, see, and how cool is that? And you can do different things. But yeah, Brooks, just so you're jealous again, there's the Tila with the shield.
With the shield.
Making them all sad, man.
Yeah.
We'll get you a
Roboto.
shield someday for Brooks. We'll get you Brooks Tequila's shield.
I thought it was Roboto because I was like, thank you very much, Mr. Roboto.
Is it really? Is that his name?
Mike knows, I guess.
Bo
Mike says
knows.
the Power Rangers Putty 2-pack is sold out. Weird stretch. Who cares? I already have a putty.
You're a putty.
I don't need an army of putties. Whatever. I really wanted it. But yeah, it's already sold out.
Yeah, I don't care, man. I just really wanted it.
I just wanted it, but I didn't want to pay for it. I got too much shit to buy, man. You know us. We love toys and all that stuff. So anyway, that's the end of the show. We really appreciate everybody having patience with us. It's over midnight. It's past midnight here in our time zone. It's past 1 o'clock in Dylan's time zone. So, wow, late start, weird stretches, and all kinds of craziness. So, Dylan, final thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, Brooks, he stole your stick. What are you going to do now? Brooks, final thoughts?
Robbie, you're my hero.
Oh, yeah, I see what you did there. Jay Strick.
Yeah.
Now everybody's going to be me tonight because I had a thing.
Bruh.
Mine wasn't even intentional, I swear, Brooks.
All right, John.
I got nothing. I'm about to fall asleep. So
Yeah.
sayonara. See you guys. Bye. Adios.
You guys are such posers, man.
All right, my final thought. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you
God.
could miss it. Y'all have a good one. We're out. We love you.